Hello. Got the mic. Got the mic. Let me get in here. Sorry, little disoriented today. But I got good sleep, which matters. All right, you guys are going to see that eventually. You're like, oh, no sound. Okay, there we go. All right, lots going on today, guys. I did update at least the portfolio allocation, and I posted this for subscribers on X, and then also to I put it in here on Discord underneath the portfolio allocations tab. On X, I am getting rid of the charts on there. It's just too difficult to manage charts in a thread. So if you guys want charts, you need to get that. You need to get that from Discord in regard to all the links. It's just going to be a lot easier to manage. A couple notable events. So if you look over here, even though I've been selling my Tesla shares a lot, I still have quite a few of them left. Also, if we just look back over here, I removed, like I said, I removed the chart section. My plan is to add more Bitcoin related investments as I make ever growing amounts of money off these other investments. But if for some reason Bitcoin goes first, great, not a big deal. We can run with that. Also, I sold MSTR, bought MSTX, the 1.75 version. I want to make sure people are clear. Added ARGT, the Argentinian fund, and added MU Micron for an AI play. So this is what it looks like now. A lot of stuff going on today, guys, in regard to the market. We have the port closing down, the strike, and that's actually going to be impacting locations all the way from Maine to Texas. From a bunch of experts that I've listened to, it sounds like this isn't going to be too impactful. It sounds like it won't really start to impact the economy until after the election. So, again, I still think that I've got a theory that Trump might work with the longshoremen in order to be able to try and resolve that before the election. And he's also seems to be trying to be a diplomat, too, with what happened in the hurricane. So we'll see how those things play out. But I do think there's some political stuff going on there. But I'm not actually worried about this port shortage in the meantime. On top of that, China had their best market rebound in over 16 years. Now, when we say that, I'll pull up Bitcoin here first just so I can get to the ticker. I do want to make sure that, and Bitcoin's doing great, guys. We had a beautiful monthly close, but we'll get to that in a little bit. I do want to emphasize something, though, real quickly in regard to China and their index. And it was something that I listened to Kyle Bass talk about on CNBC a little bit earlier, and I thought it was pretty smart. And so I want to kind of recap it. Yes, has China had a beautiful resurgence in their stock market? Like just looking at the Hang Seng, there's a bunch of indexes, right? True. Yes, it has. Should you buy after it's went up 31% in a month? I wouldn't. And also, it's still where it was in January of 2007 before the great financial crisis. So has it had the best surge in a long time? Yes. But if you bought in January of 2007, you're right about where you were over that entirety of that time. So I don't think this is a good market to touch. I highly, highly recommend that people stay away from this. This is my non-financial advice. So just to be clear, stay the fuck away from it. All right, while we're looking at Bitcoin's price, I want to keep going. Economic data, we got PMI, JOLTS, jobs, ISM, construction spending, Dallas Fed services. We've got a lot of data to cover today. The next read, we've got LMI Logistics Manager Index already came out. Slightly better than expected. I won't go through all the details, but again, it looks good. It looks like we're in a rebound. So we like to see that. And again, just quick highlights when looking at this. Inventories levels increased 0.41 to 59.8, largely driven by long-expected restocking downstream retailers. I would argue not just that, but I think threats of the port strike, too. People were trying to get ahead. This growth-driven in inventory costs to expand as well. Up 2.3. All transportation capacity has moved back down to 50 versus 56.7. The second time this has happened in 2024. Warehousing capacity growth also slowed. 3.7 to 55.9, and transportation utilization slowed slightly. Prices came down 3.2 to 58.4. That's a good thing. Are expanding at a slower rate relative to August. On the other hand, warehousing utilization has went up, and warehousing prices have went up. So we'll see how this works. We don't want a bunch of stuff sitting in inventory, but I do think it's smart that this happened because, again, we want to avoid what was happening. We want to avoid what was happening with the port strike. And I will look at comments in just a second. 7:55 we have Redbook coming out. 8:30 we have Global PMI. 8:45 we got more of that for the final read, and then 9 o'clock we have ISM manufacturing. We got Jolt's job openings, just a slew of data, and then we have more coming in at 9:30. So I'm probably going to stick around to the 9:30 time frame, and then we'll hop out. Lowe's says, Jesse, 37 major U.S. ports are down as of an hour ago. Yep, I'm not worried about it at all. It's not going to be impactful. From everything I'm listening to, it sounds like a lot of traffic was already rerouted, and it looks like it won't actually be really impactful in a major way until like after the election, which is sometime in November, roughly a month from now. Now, markets could use it as a narrative, and they might be worried, but I don't think it's a big deal right now. Also, we might be getting Tesla delivery numbers today. If anybody sees those popping up, please let me know. We have almost 900 Discord and X members and subscribers now, which is phenomenal. So thank you guys very much. And also, I didn't say this earlier, but again, I posted this under subscribers for the portfolio allocation. I believe I found a really good automated way to show my portfolio allocation for shitcoins. So I've just got to set it up. I'm going to try and do that today. And then if that works out, I'll be able to very quickly show shitcoin related investments, especially since I don't trade them actively. So it should be really easy to keep track of that and then to share that information, which is going to be nice. Let me go ahead and boost this. If you guys could, on the comments on X especially, let people know that this is a great stream outside of the first minute where I didn't have my mic on and fucked it all up. All right, let's keep going. So, again, tonight I'll have the market recap at 3. Also, I'm going to be doing the VP debate, the vice presidential debate at 8 p.m. Central tonight. So you guys can feel free to watch that too. Without further ado, though, let's start rolling through some stuff. Let me see here too. Yeah, not too much to talk about in there. And again, when does our next data point come out? 7:55. So we got 25 minutes on the Redbook year over year, guys. And so we'll hop back to that in a second. A few other things I wanted to cover real quickly this morning. Shitcoin's doing amazingly well in the last month. And again, popping again today. My portfolio has done really, really good. I think we're very risk on right now, guys. I think that's a beautiful thing. It's going to be good for markets. Probably going to leave that there for a second. We'll look at maybe some pre-market macro-related tickers like the dollar, gold, oil, move index, all that stuff in a second too. But I'm going to try and get caught up on chat. So let me just get over here. So outside of a bunch of people telling me I was muted, not an ex-subscriber, but could see the updated chart. That's because I posted it for a little bit without it, but I deleted that. So, again, not perfectly organized today, but getting better. Oak says, hit the likes. I appreciate that if you would. Manny247. Hi, everyone. No sound. Nope, it's fixed. Simone, good morning, guys. Victor, Alex Garcia, good morning. 1425 here in Gijon. Akash 2000, good morning. Akash also said from BCN. I don't know what BCN is. What is it? British Columbia. Lowe's 94, good morning. Victor says, good morning. Everybody's saying good morning. Lowe's 94, Jesse, 36 major ports. I think I responded to that a second ago. I actually don't think that's as big of a deal as people think it is. Rob Group, do you have that graph that shows your profits year over year posted somewhere? I don't. I could probably add it. I should probably put it in my story. And it's not even profits year over year. So let me just show you what it is. It's actually my low balances because that's the only number I kept track of. I didn't really think that I would be doing this whole social media influencer or whatever the fuck I've turned into. That wasn't really a thing I cared about or ever thought of being. So no, I didn't. I don't have that posted anywhere, but this is what it is, and I can certainly add it. It's just what my low balances were from 2019 all the way to 2024, and that's still right, the 1.92. I don't think I'm going to be hitting that because I'm at 3.2 million right now, a little bit over. And then my projected in 2025, I got a lot of room that I need to go up in order to be able to hit that goal. But I think 5 million is probably pretty good for the low on 2025. Maybe I'll miss this for my projected, but that's okay too. I don't care too much. Let's keep looking through notes. JT says, damn, look at this beautiful crew. It is a beautiful crew. Bogdan, tomorrow deliveries, right? It varies. I don't know. Probably tomorrow morning. Victor Hernandez, hey Jesse, I know you don't like to talk about Chinese stocks, but I'm being bombarded on X about NEO. NEO's about the stupidest fucking stock you can invest in, and you're probably getting bombarded. But as I just said, the HSI has went up 31% in a month, and you're still at numbers you saw in 2007. This historical trend tells you how well you're going to do in the next 10 years. It's going to be much worse. Here's what my prediction is on Chinese stocks. Maybe they even get up to here, and then it does this, and then it does this, and then it does this, and then it does this. So here's Chinese stocks, guys. Here's Chinese stocks between now and 2030. This is what I expect them to do. So if you want to invest in NEO, go ahead. It's a great way to lose money. I think it would be a highly effective way to turn really good capital into zero. Dylan, good evening, Jesse. Disease Kodak, does Tesla release numbers? I don't know when they're going to release them. It's probably going to be tomorrow morning, but it varies sometimes. Jingo, frog, cats, dogs for meme coins, Jesse. Yeah, there's a bunch of shit out there. And it looks like dogs are doing pretty good. I don't know if cats are going to catch up. Apes are a little bit behind. But they'll probably do all right. Let's look at the top 100 here and see. So what do we have? Do we have shit coins? We do have a cat. Popcat. So Popcat's doing pretty good. Hex, this guy is a wonderful scammer. He's done a great job over the years in taking people's money. And then the best part is he buys a lot of gold and Louis Vuitton bags and Lambos, and then he shows them to his followers to let them know that he's taken their money and applied it really well to his own life. So Hex is a great one to invest in if you want to help him out. There's a dog, a whiff. So yeah, it looks like cats and dogs. What is a Floki? I don't even know. Is a Floki a dog or a cat? It's like a Viking dog. And then Bonk, of course, is in here too. Yeah, so Dogecoin over here doesn't really even have not so much of a dog logo. It's like hidden by the D. They need to fix that. And then Pepe. What the fuck is Pepe? A frog? I don't fucking know. Good times. Let me see here. Akash says BTC miners bleeding. Sweet. It sucks. I'm sorry if it sucks for you. I'm hoping they bleed more. Victor Hernandez, BCN, Barcelona. Okay, cool. Now I know. Don't get out much. Mob74. Hey, Jesse, buying more CLSK today? Probably. If Tesla does really good, I will be. And let's actually look on that note. Let's actually pull this up. We're going to pull up the stock heat map, and we're going to switch it to pre-market since we're a ways before the market open. Just see how things are doing. Tesla up 0.46. I like that. Apple not doing too well. It looks like they're not selling a lot of iPhone Pro Maxes, and I think a lot of that's coming out of China too. So, oh well. Great signs for China, guys. Great signs for China. Let me see here. Let me go back to my chat. I don't want to miss it all. From X, we got outstanding streaming and value, Jesse. Thank you, Mario. Also, Mario says on X, curious to understand what percentage of your portfolio is actually options versus stock. That's another thing that I'm going to be working on. It's a decent amount. We can actually quickly glance at that and talk about it while we're in here. So if you look down, again, members only, subscribers only, this is all pretty much options. This is 98% options for Tesla. PayPal is 100% options. CleanSpark is about 95% options. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. About 90% options. ArcG is about 95% option, or I'm sorry, 100% options. And then CleanSpark. Where is CleanSpark? Oh, no, I already went over it. Yeah, so, and then Hood is like 100% options. Outside of that, I'm not, but that is a huge amount of the portfolio right now. This is very uncharacteristic of me. In 6 months, I'll probably have 0 options, or maybe 10% allocation, just to give you some perspective. And I'll try and get it to where in the not too distant future, I need more of this. In the not too distant future, I'll have a chart in here as well. I think the crypto one's coming today, but then the chart of options versus not options. I don't know. If I can, I'm just going to try and allocate that in here. I've just got to figure out how to get it in Excel. And then I'll have that in here as well. All right, let me keep going through chat here. Get through all of it. Victor says, by the way, sorry if spam the chat. I have 4,175 Clean Spark shares looking for group, planning to buy a little bit more. Marty Cohen, morning, Jesse and fam. Oak says alts are heating up. Yes, they are, and it's showing a really good risk-on economy right now. I think BTC dominance is probably coming too. Let's actually look at that. Let me go over here. I got to try and keep track of everything. Let's see, where are alts heating up? I was ill prepared today, guys. I didn't have a lot of my stuff here set up right. There we go. So I'm gonna highlight that real quick. All right, so look, so again, Bitcoin looking great today, guys. I'm loving the setup. 63.7 had a great monthly close. Again, if I just remove the noise here, we're already on the month. Look at how we are perfectly finding support over here, and the last 5 out of 7 candles have been to the ups, have been above this previous monthly closes. That were resistance before. This is exactly what you want to see with the Bitcoin. It is beautiful. We're getting ready to go up. I don't care what people say. That's what's happening. Got to remember, October, guys, is a huge time for markets. It's a huge time for markets. We have voting, or I'm sorry, the election cycle, which is helping us. We have October for crypto that is helping us. We have liquidity helping us, and we have traditional markets that indicate that October is usually a great month. So we have tons of multipliers behind us right now in regard to what the market can do going forward. It's a beautiful thing. So let's look at BTC dominance real quick and see how we're doing. Oh, I like that. It's flattening out. Looks like it wants to break back down underneath here. Is this lined up well? Let me see. Oh, it's not. Ooh, boy, that looks a lot closer. When you line this up correctly, who created this shit? Oh yeah, me. If you line this up correctly, it actually looks like we're going back down. I'm going to lock this real quick so I don't lose it. But yeah, it looks like what's happening is we're getting a rejection up here and that we're going to try and break down, and we'll see alts maybe leading the show for a while. But again, I've shown you how the jockeying back and forth works on that stuff. So lots of good things happening. Let's see here. Marty Cohen says, good morning, Jesse and fams. Oak says alts are heating up. Chris DeSantis, crypto scammers. Ugh, they're probably everywhere. Chris DeSantis, let's get those likes, people. Alex Garcia, what's your average price? Victor, master the game. How is that Vision Pro selling? Vision Pro. Oh, you mean the iPhone 16 Pro? Is that the one you're talking about? Peter says Apple factory burned down in India. They might have to return to China. Read on X. What? That's fucking retarded. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. But that's stupid that a factory burned down in India. That's really fucking stupid. Doesn't help Indian investments if people are seeing that their factories are just going to burn down. Let's see here real quick. When does the Tesla Q3 numbers come out? I think by tomorrow morning at the latest, but they can vary. So we'll see. If you guys see Tesla Q3 numbers come out, let me know. Albert, did Israel start a limited land operation into Lebanon? Yes, they did that yesterday afternoon. It's not a big deal. They've killed the entire leadership of Hezbollah. Now they're just wiping out the Hezbollah at their border. Rob Group, so if you had CleanSpark stock right now, would you sell that and put it into options? If we're talking about me, let's just look here. I mean, maybe. Let me get over here. So I'll pull my stuff over. Again, this is kind of reminiscent of yesterday, so ignore some of it. It hasn't updated. Now, CleanSpark options, I'm down 17% in that position. So yeah, if I still had it, I probably would. Run the options calculator, though, optionsprofitcalculator.com, and look at it. And I would recommend that you also, again, watch that Options 101 video if you haven't already. It's incredibly important that you guys understand options before you get into them. They are a super dangerous vehicle. You have to understand them, guys. And I'll throw a link in for the Options 101 video real quick if anybody wants to watch it after this. But again, just don't fuck yourself up with options. It's easy to do. I know some people that went in heavy on the 2025 PayPals or some of the other stuff that I was talking about. They probably didn't look at my portfolio allocation and that I was like 10% allocated at the time. And they got wrecked, and that fucking sucks. You need to understand diversification, and you need to understand asymmetric bets, and you need to understand timing. Options are a complicated thing, so look at that video before you touch anything. All right, keep going here. Great entry price, dude. He said, what was the entry price? $9.90. $9.90 is what Victor said he got for the entry on CleanSpark. That's actually a great price. I bought my options back in the ones, but I sold a bunch. But I did really good off of it. But yeah, that's a great for the average person. They weren't even interested by then. So you're doing great, Victor. That kicks ass. Dr. Gonzo, TD Bank caught spoofing Treasury market. The fine, $6 million, right? Doesn't matter. They can spoof all they want, right? They're spoofing the Treasury market to try and suppress. Actually, the government maybe is in league with them, especially on the, well, not Treasury, but long end of the curve, totally. And maybe short. As Floki is Elon Shibu Inu. Yeah, Elon doesn't give a shit about any of that. Victor Hernandez. Alex Garcia, who cares if it runs? Looking for group? Master the game. No, those Vision Pro goggles. Remember those? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. That didn't work out very good, I don't think. You're talking about Apple's like big thing that cost $3,000. Apple's been struggling, guys. And I think Facebook, Meta's going to take their lunch in regard to a lot of that stuff. At least in regard to the VR augmented side. I think Apple, I don't know. I think it's going to be hard. It's hard to sell a premium product and then you want economies of scale. Meta already has that. Rahul, good morning, Team Jesse. Will Tesla beat deliveries? Yes, easily. Even Troy Teslike is saying that, guys. And he is not somebody. Let's actually look real quickly. Let's see what Grok has for news, too. You guys got to use Grok. You guys got to have premium. iPhone 16 production cut by Apple. Apple adjusts production amidst Tata plant fire. So, again, they've got a fire in India. They might have to push some production to China. China isn't buying their iPhones anyways, and it sounds like a lot of people aren't. China stock market surge. Who gives a fuck? Cybertruck FSD performance. I can't wait to get mine. I think I'm going to get my truck tomorrow. They've been dicking around and working on everybody else's. I'm about to go postal on them, so they'll get to mine soon, I think. U.S. dock workers strike. Arizona voter glitch affects 218,000. Glitch. Tesla's monthly breakout. Oh, guys, if you haven't seen this, Tesla is breaking out on the monthly time frame. We're going to see a good day today for Tesla stock. Metaplanet bolsters Bitcoin holdings, so we got more buys from companies, it looks like. Dario said, I watched your Option 101 and the Tesla call. Is there another educational video that you recommend? In regard to options, I don't. I've learned all this over time, and I tried to include as much as I could in the Option 101. Maybe I'll make a 201 later. But I don't know. I'd say watch my channel and ask questions. I think that's the best thing you can do. And there'll be times where, again, we can pull up. I'm just going to repost this. This is a good one. Going to add it to my Bitcoin repertoire. Charles Schwab, CEO, Bettinger to retire. I don't know if anybody cares about that. Sorry, I'm watching CNBC at the same time, guys. I like to diversify. I like to look all over the place and understand everything. But yeah, so it looks like these guys now hold over 500 Bitcoin. They bought 107 more. This is going to be a theme. So lots of stuff going on here, guys. Bitcoin records best September performance ever. That seems cool. I'm going to let that come up. Let's look at comments. Yo, when did Zuck start dressing all Gen Z and grow out broccoli haircut? I don't know if I like the broccoli haircut. You should like shave the side and like have it as like a mohawk, Jufro, curly, whatever the fuck he's got going on. I think that would look better. All right. Toshi says Invest Answers has an options playlist. Cool. Yeah, he's awesome. He's been doing options for a long time. He's been very successful at it. We've got different strategies for it. I think mine's better. Don't tell him I said that. Disease Kodak. Buying more MSTX today. Probably not a bad idea. Daniel Dibb waiting for Dell to buy some BTC. I think Michael Dell, he sold, how much did he sell? 1.9 billion or something? I posted about it in his stock. I think he's totally going to buy Bitcoin. He's probably quietly doing it. Disease Kodak, that would be sick, Daniel. Toshi, haha. Is that the haha about the Jufro, or is that about being better than James at options? Because I do think I'm better. He's had more time at it. All right. Good morning. I should say this. He's more experienced, but I think my philosophy is probably better. I've taken some losses. I'm in trading positions. Let's see here. That doesn't look like it's the equivalent. That's the one I want. Gumshoe. We want Gumshoe. I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but I'm probably going to follow him if he's doing a good job tracking analytics. So, All right. Oh, yeah. Well, I think I'm right. So let's keep going here. I mean, I'm not better at everything. He's obviously way better in some things. He works way harder than I do. So that's good. And then he provides better analytics and probably a better Patreon and a better Discord. Well, I don't know. Our Discord, I think, is pretty kick-ass. So, but he doesn't do morning recaps or morning market opens and then market recaps. So I'm better at that. All right, let's keep going here, guys. There's a lot to talk about. I'll probably jump into U.S. economy here. Oh, we got our first, our next economic data point. Let's see. Oh, no, it's coming. 7:55, it looks for Redbook. I think they moved it on me, so that's coming in a little bit. Let's look at U.S. economy, see if I have any new data from last night. I did. I actually want to talk about this, too. So, Cross-Border Capital said, just because something is hard doesn't mean you shouldn't try. Surely best way to measure liquidity is properly. We try harder. How to measure liquidity. This is a great read. I might even talk about this more in the market recap. There is a lot to it. It is very thorough. You're getting a lot of his analysis in the Financial Times post. You have to accept cookies, though. So if you don't like cookies and a bunch of advertisements, it's going to suck. But he gives you a ton of stuff in regard to what I pay for $75, $80 a month in regard to his Substack. So this is probably a good one. I'll go over it probably in more detail later, though. Not going to do it right now. Then also Cross-Border Capital posted this. It says, so much for data dependence, FOMC committee. He said, it says Jay Powell, and this is kind of true. Jay Powell signals Federal Reserve will revert to a quarter of a point cut in November and December, right? So he's kind of telling us what's coming in advance. Even though he's saying they're data dependent, he's saying here's the plan. And if the data changes, the plan might change. So he's giving us, he's telegraphing a lot more than he used to, which is interesting. Shawnee G from X says, hey, Jesse, do you think that because we didn't have a red September, as a lot of folks expected, that we could get a red October? It's possible. I can't say that it's not possible because, again, fear and greed index, we're looking over here, and what are we at right now? 74. So we're in greed, on the edge of extreme greed. If we look historically, because I got this fancy stuff that I pay a bunch of money for. Oh, no, I'm still in the free? Oh, maybe I canceled it. Oh, well, this is free. Fuck, this is awesome then. Let me see, what does the shaded area do? So I'm getting ads, though. I don't love that. Shaded area. I don't actually know what that does. Anyway, but you can see here the fear and greed index in blue versus what the S&P does. This is a great tool. It's from macro micro, not to be confused with me. Not micro to macro, it's macro micro. I actually was going to take this name, but it was already taken by this company, which is why I did micro to macro. But anyway, so they're a great company, but if you look here, we're at really high levels historically. So could we get a decline? Yes. But could we have something like what happened in June to July, where we had 2 months of just sickness in the extreme greed area where we just bounced around in between here? Yes, we can. And I think that's probably what's going to happen. And then again, if you look over here, if you get over here to the crypto fear and greed, we're not even in any kind of extreme greed zone. So if you look over here and you go out max, we could go a lot higher in crypto. I mean, we can go to 100 in crypto. Look at this. So I'm not worried about it from a crypto perspective. I'm probably not worried about it from a lot of investments that I own because they're the plays that people are rotating into. So could we go down in the market? Yes, we could go down in the market. Does it have to happen right away? No, it doesn't. Do I think this could be one of the best September and Octobers ever? Yes, I do. That's my current take. I'm actually going to, it looks like we got, okay. Looks like we're talking Bitcoin on CNBC. I'm going to jump over to this for a second because I want to hear it. And so that's what we'll do. So 1 second here, guys. Let's get to it.
Bitcoin gaining 8.5% last month, doing much better than the major stock indexes. Join us right now in an exclusive interview. Galaxy founder and CEO Mike Novogratz. The move.
Keep in mind, take this for what it's worth. I love Mike Novogratz. He's interesting. He's very liberal, so he's got that kind of view politically. He did get a tattoo of Luna on his back or his chest or some shit. If you don't know what Luna is, it didn't turn out well. So just take it for what it's worth, okay?
Has been made. The question, of course, is was it made, or is there more to the making, Mike? And I think that's what everybody's trying to understand, given where the Fed is and everything else, and how interconnected you think these things really are.
Yeah, listen, the Fed is going to keep moving rates lower. How fast they do, we'll see. I think Chairman Powell was pretty straightforward yesterday. The data's going to matter. I think he'd like to move rates faster, lower faster, but he's not going to be a kamikaze. And so right now you're pricing at about 33 basis points for each of the next meetings. That's probably fair, and we'll see with payroll and a few other big data points.
So what do you think each basis point or even quarter point reduction means to the price of Bitcoin if you think that they actually move in tandem?
Listen, I think almost more importantly than what the U.S. is doing is what China just did, right? We've got now the two biggest economies in the world, cutting rates and pumping liquidity into the system. And at the same time, we're going to have an election, and either candidate wins, we're going to have a lot more regulatory clarity. And it was really interesting what Walt Bettinger said. He said, well, if we had regulatory clarity, then Schwab would probably be much bigger in crypto. At least that's the way I heard him. I think there are scores of TradeFi companies and large ones with the exact same idea. And I'm really confident that a year from now, we will have regulatory clarity.
Under
Under who?
whomever is in charge.
Yeah,
Yes.
probably.
I spent a lot of time speaking to people around the Harris campaign. The one thing that comes clear is this is going to be a first-term presidency, not a second Biden term.
So again, this guy's super liberal. He wants Harris to win. I don't know fucking why. I don't know how you can be pro Bitcoin and crypto and believe in Kamala Harris. I think that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. These guys quite literally, I need to probably turn down the Discord. I'm not on Do Not Disturb. Let me see here. Do not disturb. Otherwise, we're gonna hear Discord sounds the whole time. Sorry, guys, but I don't know how you could be how you could be pro Bitcoin or crypto and be for Kamala Harris. It's the most retarded fucking thing I've ever heard. She is very much CBDC, governmental control, distribution and equity, DEI, ESG. People can't fly planes in the country, only internationally. Only it's a horrible world under Kamala Harris. I don't think we ever have a fair election again after this one. I don't even know if this one's going to be fair, but he bought he got a tattoo of Luna, so whatever.
And that means different personnel, different policies. They are going to shift away.
I do think they'll get away from Gary Gensler, and the narrative will probably be to try and show that we're pro either way, right? I think Donald will actually be pro because his kids love it. Donald Trump Jr. and Barron both love Bitcoin and crypto and understand it, I think, really well. So he'll definitely be pro. I think Kamala will pretend to be pro, and they'll probably try and do things behind the scenes to reduce its power while benefiting the government, because that's what authoritarian regimes do, and that's what they are.
From the Elizabeth Warren faction. Which really, I think most Democrats realized it was a fool's errand. Like, why are you standing in the way of a technology that...
Really? Tell that to Elizabeth Warren. Tell that to Ocasio-Cortez. Tell that to a slew of Democrats that still feel that way. Don't get me wrong. There's young Democrats that get it, and there's a growing number, I think, that get it. But there's still a huge portion of the party that don't want it at all. Think about this. We've never seen a Harris for crypto, right? There isn't a Harris for crypto site. There's crypto for Harris site. We've never heard her talk about Bitcoin, not even once, right? So these guys are not for this at all. It's all a show.
That's important. You think about what the important technologies coming. AI is certainly the most important, but blockchain is right there. Right. Robotics, and so
you've been.
And he doesn't even talk about. He talks about blockchain still. This guy doesn't know shit.
Publicly supporting Democrats for a very long time, but there has been a real move, obviously, within the crypto space to support former President Trump. Do you see that
call him out.
Changing over this issue of crypto the way you now see it?
Listen, it's 33 days to the election, and I think most people have made their choice up.
He doesn't want to talk about it.
This is going to be who gets the vote. To me, I think it's a 50-50 call right now on who's going to win. And you're going to see it all in 7 states, 42 counties, and about 100,000 votes. It's a crazy way to elect a president. I do think, though, going forward, both the House...
Yeah, you know what we should do instead? We should import a bunch of illegal immigrants so that they vote for us and make it to where we only have one party going forward. That's a much better way to run an election. That's the goal of the Democratic Party. Sorry, this is my channel, so I'm gonna fucking give my point. I'm just going to. It's gonna get worse in the next 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks, guys. It's gonna get really political on here.
House and the Senate and whoever's in the executive side is going to be pro crypto. I spent a lot of time with different congressmen and senators. I'm seeing one today on the Republican side, and they all kind of get it now. This is an important technology for America. And
when you say pro crypto, though, what does that mean? I mean, look, there's Bitcoin and there's Ether. Then I'm looking at Solana. There's Ripple below it. What else are we talking about?
I think it's relatively simple what DC has to do. They have to pass a market infrastructure bill that's not too suffocating, right? Tell us where we're regulated.
I'm getting nothing out of this interview. I'm gonna move on. If you guys, sorry, but I'm just like I'm not getting anything from Novogratz. I was hoping he'd have like something insightful. I really don't know if I care about listening to this guy anymore. He's just not. I don't know. I don't know that there's anything of value in this at all. It's like telling me things I already know. So I'm gonna skip it. We're gonna move on. Keep it up. Vote for Trump. Vote for capitalism. Vote for freedom, I think, is the most important thing. Again, I love capitalism because it's what is going to, it's what helped make me rich. It's what helped empower me to be able to leave dead-end jobs that I never fit into. And it's what helped me make me rich and turn me into a multimillionaire by supporting good companies and good investments that benefit the world. I bought Bitcoin because I think it helps humanity. I bought Tesla because I thought it helps humanity. And I got rich off of these things. Because I was able to allocate my capital to help benefit them, which I thought helped humanity, and then at the same time get rich from doing it as they succeeded. So I think that's the beauty of capitalism. A high school fucking dropout can have a mediocre, career, whatever you call it, series of jobs that I did in a bunch of different areas. I can have a mediocre career, and then I can still end up being a wealthy person because I have a vision for the future that is better, and I financially benefit from it while they benefit from it and make the world a better place. I think that's fucking beautiful. I also think freedom is beautiful. I think it's very important. Here's the thing. If Kamala Harris gets elected, I'm not going to be able to talk about politics as much anymore. I'm going to have to think about my family and the future and what might come. And so you won't hear me freely speaking about my political views anymore. And then at some point, I might have to think about purging videos and content that I created that the government might not approve of. So if you like that kind of world where people can't tell you what they genuinely think, then Kamala Harris is a great person to vote for because, as John Kerry already said and a bunch of other people, Bill Gates, I just did a post about this today, he wants an AI that can automatically censor content that they don't want out there, misinformation. So the AI in the future, guys, could in real time censor everything you're talking about, and then maybe let the FBI or whoever know that you're not complying and not being a good person, and maybe they can just arrest you. Like you could post something, and then all of a sudden there's an alert out for you, and the police are looking for you right away because of the content you put out there. If that's the kind of world you like, man, definitely vote Kamala Harris, because then we'll all think the exact same thing. None of us will have disagreements because we'll all just be little drones who repeat the same shit like fucking parrots. It'll be great. It'll be a beautiful world. Anyway, back to economic data. I'm losing viewers here. Great. That's perfect. Fuck those people who can't take the truth. All right, let's see what we got over here. How are we doing? We still got Redbook came in year over year, 5.3%. Again, this is the retail number. What is it, like the top 9,000 retailers? Someday I'm just going to remember this off the top of my head. Yeah, so it's the Johnson Redbook is a sales-weighted year-over-year same-store sales growth and sample of large U.S. general merchandise retailers representing about 9,000 stores. So this is a lot. It's same-store sales or sales in stores continuously open for 12 months or longer. So this represents about, by dollar value, about 80% of the equivalent index of official retail. So this is a lot, and it's going up. This is a beautiful number. This is a good point of economic data. We don't hate this. We don't hate this at all. And next at 8:30, we'll get, again, that PMI, and then we'll get another bit at 8:45, and then the 9 o'clock is going to be the big rush on data, and then we got more at 9:30. So this is good stuff coming at us. Great. Yeah, sorry. Dude, I'm going to keep it real. If people don't like that, they can fuck off. Like, that's just... That's the way it is. I believe this election is incredibly crucial. I'm gonna say this stuff more and more. It's gonna piss people off, and I get that. That's okay. I still love you guys. I disagree with you because I don't want a communist dictatorship controlling the world. And I believe that's what the World Economic Forum, the WHO, and the UN are trying to do. And I think they're being very successful about it. And I think there's representation in Brazil, in the UK, in Australia, and in numerous other parts of Europe, and now in the United States, where they're trying to basically get in a bunch of immigrants that will allow them to be able to control these regions, because they'll have the votes to be able to control them, and they can end democracy. And that's literally what John Kerry was talking about. He doesn't know. John Kerry said he doesn't know if democracies are equipped to handle the future, because there's too many people that are listening to misinformation and going down a different path. And it's going to be hard for them to be able to drive us towards a better future if we have our own independent thought and democracies. So fuck that shit. I don't believe in that whatsoever. I think it's disgusting, and I'm okay with having viewers drop from this fucking channel. I don't do ads anymore anyway. I don't get advertising revenue. I don't give a fuck how many people are watching this. So that's what you're gonna get. Sorry, it's a good one today, guys. I apologize. Sorry. Let's keep going. All right, let's keep going here. So again, let's go through economic data. We'll keep rolling down through this. Bar chart was just talking about extreme greed. We did drop out of that. That's good. Marty Party, again, this was from yesterday. I already talked about that. We'll skip that. We're going to go back over here. We're going to look to see what Bitcoin has. In about 27 minutes, we'll be able to look at the live market feed and see how things are going. We can actually just jump back here real quick, though. Let's see how Bitcoin's going. So Bitcoin, 63.6, dropped just a hair. Nothing too crazy there. Let's look at dominance. Not doing much. Let's look over here. Don't care about that. Let's go to the... Oh, yeah, and I do actually, before I go into the other stuff, I'm going to jump back over here. Now, let's get out of daily performance, because that's not true. Let's go over here to pre-market. NVIDIA up, Google up, Meta up. Apple not so much from factories burning down and sales sucking. Tesla's still up. Energy and minerals. Woof, this sector not looking good today, guys. Lots of... Everybody waiting for that commodity rush. Not seeing the commodity rush. Isn't that interesting? It almost makes me... Let me go over here. I'm actually very curious to see what commodities are doing. And we'll jump into other stuff in a second. Energy commodities outside of coal not doing great. And coal not doing that great if you look at historical. So how's Europe doing with gas? Let's look at a historical here. So Europe still pretty low. But again, as we head into the winter, I think this number will actually start to creep higher. Let me scroll down here real quick. It's just kind of... I'm going off, so I'm sure. Let's see how comments are doing here. Joe Barassis, most likely around 5960K. Oak, they just avoid the damn questions. Why even have those clowns when they don't say shit? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Novogratz? Yeah. It's like, what's the fucking point of the conversation even? Victor says, he just repeated that I'm losing follower or viewers. Great. Fuck those people. Ha ha ha. TKL92, I wish I could vote in this election to help Donald Trump. Hey, man, if you cross the southern border, you can. You could do your part, guys. Just cross the southern border. You don't have to live in the country. And then you can do your part to help Donald Trump. You don't even have to stay. Team Miri, 263 watching, 70 likes. Got to fix that. That's all the people that got pissed off about my views. Manny247, how Biden helps the people in the USA suffering with storm damage is a big test. Trump dropped everything to help. Yeah, that's going to be... Biden's too tired, man. He's not going to help at all. JD, TKL, you demand... yes, let's keep it real. Please don't accommodate to those people. If Kamala gets elected, I might have to, because I got to think about the safety of my family first. So there might be a point where I'm not able to do that anymore. Or I'll do it from a different country. Sammy Lee, two-party system won't let that happen. Split government results in nothing being done. That's what we want. We want split government. We want split government. If we don't have split government, then the government gets to do a whole lot of things that you're not going to like. Disease Kodak, I respect you speaking the truth. It's important for people to know how bad things get. Yeah, I think they will. Keep speaking the truth. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys. The UK is becoming very left-wing. It's going to get worse because, again, you guys, it's the same formula, guys. It's literally Manny247. Thank you for gifting the memberships. 20, that's fucking generous, dude. I really appreciate you a lot. Yeah, it's like we're doing the same thing all across the West, guys. You got to be able to look and see this objectively. Keir Starmer is no different than Kamala Harris, is no different than what's his name in Brazil, is no different than the current leadership in Australia. They're working for a mission that the World Economic Forum has made very clear. They've said it out loud. They've all said it out loud in different ways. We want globalism. We want there to be control to where countries have less control over what they're doing. And we have an elite group of powers that are running between the UN and the World Economic Forum and the World Health Organization. And they tell us what to see, think, and do. And we follow that because we don't have autonomy in our countries anymore. This is the goal. This is the goal. This is what's happening. It's not a fucking conspiracy theory. It's not even that hard to find the truth. And if you don't want to live in that world, vote accordingly. Equity Jack, keep speaking the truth. Thank you, guys. Keep going down. Victor Hernandez, Jesse, same sheet here in Spain. Exact same sheet. There is a global tendance. Yeah, it's literally a global agenda. They don't hide it. They've told you the plan. The plan is that you will own nothing and you will be happy, and you don't have to worry about what the truth is. The government will tell you. And it won't even be your government. It'll be the World Economic Forum. It'll be the WHO. It'll be the UN. That's what we're heading towards. I don't like that. I don't want it. Oh, it looks like we do have news real quickly. Let me find it over here. I don't know if it's real news, but we'll check. You know how they are sometimes. They'll be like, breaking news.
Thing going every day, in and out. We're going to be on the news. We're going to win this thing. Trust me. They can't survive too long, and we're going to get what the we deserve. Believe me. And God bless all of you for being here. Thank you.
Some of these reported pay increase offers, Jim, are pretty stunning, 60+%.
Yeah, they want 60+% increases in pay. They also want the people in these ports. They want the companies not to further automation to where they have to worry about losing their jobs. How fucking likely do you think that is? These people will be replaced. They need to be replaced. No matter what they say about automation and what agreements they come to, they will work to automate these jobs and make it to where these people have less control. You can't have 50% or more of the United States port traffic coming to a halt if people don't get 60% pay increases. Imagine the precedent it sets if they get a 60% pay increase. Other unions are going to do the same thing. This is one of the reasons why we had high inflation in the 70s. It wasn't just oil being really expensive. It was from stuff like this, where you have people that literally want, I'm just going to leave this up over here, that literally want massive comps. They want everything. And I can't blame them. Again, it hasn't been a great time in the economy for them. I get that. But this is fucked up, and it doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help anyone to ask for a 60% pay increase. It's actually counterproductive because, again, they will get rid of your jobs. They will get rid of your jobs, and that's a big deal. And people need to understand that. One second. Sorry, I'm just I'm playing this. I'm trying to get my setup a little bit better here while I'm playing down in the corner, and I've got captions, but I can still look over here. I'm going to play this over here too. I'm going to make it silent, though. I don't give a shit what Jim Cramer has to say. Let's see. Actually, maybe this part I do.
Cost, so it'll be the first labor agreement that is totally out of whack, and it would be the type of thing that maybe even hit PAL's screen.
Kramer turned bearish on crypto. Kramer's a fucking idiot. He's a showman.
But the machinists want a lot of money at Boeing. Now, look, I'm not saying. I mean, when you look at the executives, they make so much more money. I don't want anyone to say, "Well, hold it, does Kramer know how much?"
Yeah, I don't know why I care about this. So we do have less than 20 minutes, 19 minutes, guys, and we'll be here for the market open. Then I can do a better job showing how the portfolio is doing. Right now, kind of mixed. Again, Tesla, so-so. We'll see what happens with it. I think once we get deliveries out, if they turn out as great as people expect them to be, which I think are going to be really great, we'll see things fly, I think. Let's just keep rolling down through here. Casper Holt, what do you think about CleanSpark options right now? I said I think they're good. I'm down 17% in my position. I'll probably buy more, but I'm excited about the options positions right now. Oak, I love your authenticity, and if people can't handle it, then they aren't authentic. Yeah, because they don't want to hear a different view, and I get it. I get not wanting to hear a different view. It is painful to listen to people talking about things that you fundamentally don't agree with. It's not easy. But I do it. I might block people on X because I'm like, you're a fucking idiot and I don't want to hear this. It's a waste of my time. And there's 62,000 people following me. And I can't refute every argument that people make. It's not worth my energy. But I do listen to people that have different thoughts. And I've developed a worldview off of 10,000 plus hours of extensively paying attention to what's happening geopolitically around the world over the last 5 years that I've been retired almost. I mean, it's 4.5 years, a little over 4.5 now. But this is all I do, okay? So I've had the time to develop my own thesis on what's going on in the world. And thanks to sites like X and the Twitter files, I've been able to find out a bunch of stuff I didn't know historically, which is why I'm switching from Biden to Trump, right? And God bless Elon Musk. He's not a perfect person, but he at least wants a better humanity. And he wants a better humanity where people are free. And that's the view I want to, with everything I've looked at, guys. I've delved back into history, going back thousands of years across the world and across empires, okay? The Bitcoin Standard does that in a great way in regard to currencies and stores of value. That's a good one to listen to. But there's a bunch of others that delve into this. There's the fourth turning. There's Ray Dalio's version of the fourth turning. He thought China was going to be the future. He thought the World Economic Forum was going to be the future. Maybe they still are in a dystopian world, and maybe that's what we're headed towards. But right now, they don't appear to be in any way, and it looks like the house of cards is falling down hard, and that's what I want to see. But I've developed a view of the world from a lot of research. It's a lot more than 99% of you do, okay? And some of you do a lot. Sealess is very, very versed in everything that's going on, and a lot of other people here are too. But again, I probably put in more work than the vast majority of humanity in trying to figure out what's happening next and what's going on all across the world. So I think my view holds merit, even if you don't like it. You should listen to it every once in a while. And if people can't handle that, that's too bad. 8:13, so again, 16 minutes, and we'll be getting the market open. This is going to be a lot of fun. I will be streaming the VP debate tonight at 8 o'clock Central Time, guys. I'm going to be missing my kid's soccer tournament for it, or I should say her soccer. It's not a tournament. She's not very, I mean, she just has fun. She has fun. Her group is very chill. They're just learning soccer. She's only 10. Let me keep reading here. Daniel Dibb. Anyone else just not see much future for the iPhone? I don't feel like Apple at all is innovating, really. They're going to get the Apple Intelligence, which will help keep them current. And that will come to the new iPhone, and maybe that helps with sales later on. Paul Hoger, what's up, Jesse? Not much, man. Just chilling. Shawnee G, energy prices going up again by 10% in the UK. Yeah, Europe is fucked. Because you guys are under our nutsack now, right? Like all of Europe is underneath our nutsack. And why is that? Because this war with Russia pulled you away from Russia, who you were under their nutsack for energy. And all you did was you transferred that to our nutsack. And now you're dependent upon, natural gas, that's liquefied natural gas, LNG, that comes from the United States. And we're the biggest producer of it in the world. And you're building out LNG facilities so that you can be dependent upon us, right? Instead of Russia. Probably not a bad bet, honestly. But, and then if you're in Germany, you're turning off nuclear reactors. Pretty fucking stupid. So there's a lot of problems that are going to be hurting you guys, right? But it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, let's keep going down. Ford Motor Company has just filed the patent to installing listening devices on all their vehicles. What? Are you fucking serious? Why do they need listening devices? Tesla has a camera because when they have full autonomy, you want to be able to... I mean, I guess they have listening devices too, though, but you press a button for it. You press a button so that it will listen to your voice command, but you have to press a button. Are theirs just on by default, or are you pressing a button? Let me know. That sounds sketchy as fuck. Victor Hernandez, Trump plus Elon equals I'm fucking jealous. Yeah, that's true. They're a powerful team. Manny247 gifted 20. And again, Manny, thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you to everybody who supports this channel. Everybody, even in the smallest way to the largest way, it's really appreciated. It's going to help my wife and I create better content for you guys. And that's fucking awesome. And I'm losing YouTube memberships because, again, I'm pushing people to X and also Discord. So it actually helps a ton. So I really appreciate it, man. Let's get down here. Daisy says, see, they were not listening to you when you were hating on Trump. I stuck around and you joined the rest of us who jumped the Democrat ship. Yeah, I literally, guys, a year ago, I would be shitting on Trump right now. Shitting on him. And I lost people that liked Trump back then. And now I'm in the other boat. So, whatever. Stocks intake received a member. Oh, yeah. Thank you, guys. Disease Kodak, if Kamala wins, me and Jesse are moving to Argentina. I might actually move to Argentina. I'm not even fucking kidding about that, dude. If Kamala wins in the next 2 years, she looks like she picks up power in the House and the Senate, I'm going to leave this fucking country. I never would have thought that, okay? I never would have thought that there would be a day ever in my life where I would seriously contemplate leaving the United States of America. But if for some reason that happened, I don't think it's the base case. It's not. I still think Trump's winning, as crazy as that sounds, because I do think the election is going to be rigged too. But I think he's going to win. And you know what I love? I love being able to say this and not have to worry about monetization of videos. So just like the Elon Musk getting Trump getting X memberships instead of having to really focus on ads, I am so happy I went down this route and that you guys are supporting me on Discord and X and YouTube. Because I'm not dependent upon this one platform censoring me anymore. And I love that. And I really appreciate you guys for it. Even though I do think YouTube, at least right now, is the better platform for video. I'm not dependent upon it. And I really appreciate it. Martin Pilch, sorry. Why cross the southern border when you can get direct flight from Cuba, Haiti, or Nicaragua and Venezuela to the United States? Yeah, you don't even have to. That's true, guys. If you want to vote in the election, just fly in from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, or Venezuela. You do not have to be a U.S. citizen, and you should be able to vote right away. The Democrats will help you do it. Just tell them you're trying to vote for Kamala, and they should be able to help you get registered. Kyle Wright, that only works if you're from a third world country. You'll get rejected at the border if you got a highly educated. That's probably true. But again, you can come in through any part of the border, guys. Just tell them that you want to vote for Kamala when you get here, and I'm sure some Democrat will help you register. Alex Garcia, she will tax the fuck out of investment games. She's not going to get control of the Senate. I don't see that at all. But I do agree. If she got control of the Senate and the House, this country's fucked. The world is fucked. I don't know. You can probably write it out in some other countries, and hopefully it will be better. But that's not my base case though. The UK is a disaster. This is our future if we don't elect Trump. How is life in Argentina? Argentina is literally going the exact opposite route. But if the USA falls, man, it's going to be tough everywhere. Victor Hernandez. I lived in the U.S. when I was 16. Independence, Missouri, home of President Harry S. Truman. I might go back. Yeah, I don't know, man. If we win the election, I think a ton of people are coming to the United States. And by we, I mean Donald Trump, obviously. If he wins the election, people are coming here. JD, USA, USA, USA. Hell yeah. Daisy, I teach middle school and have a new curriculum. In our new textbooks, there is not one white kid or Asian kid represented. That's how nuts this whole new world order is. Why is that, guys? Why do we have to hate white people, especially if you are a white person? You know what I love about this group? You know what I love about you guys? There's representation all over the place. We got black people in here. We got Indian people. We got Jewish people. We got people all over the world. And you all think this is bullshit. And I love that. I love that we're a diversified group of people that are like, why are we replacing people in history? Does it make sense for me to do a Google search and see a black George Washington? No, that does nothing. When you erase history, you repeat it. You repeat it. We don't want to repeat the fucking mistakes of the past. We want to know who was doing shit. It's just fucking stupid. JD, Sweet Daisy 78, I visited a school recently and they had pro-Kamala Harris books on display, but not a single book about Donald Trump. We need to literally dissolve the Department of Education. That's what Vivek wants to do. That's what Trump wants to do. We shouldn't have political fucking agendas in our schools. We shouldn't have books that talk about sex with small fucking children in an elementary school or a junior high. Fuck that. They shouldn't be talking about sucking cock in textbooks or books that you can get in the fucking library of a middle school. Is that outrageous? Is that? Anyway, I'm in rare form today. Tomorrow I'll probably be a little more docile. Sammy Lee, it's when the pilots got 40% pay increases, but they hadn't had a raise in over 8 years. Yeah, I get that. Mike Yacko, other unions have already done the same thing. 60% over 6 years, full package. It's insurance, retirement, everything. Yeah, I get it. Again, the problem is what you need to have is you need to get rid of all unions. You need to have markets be competitive. Jobs are going away, guys. These guys are going away. Automation will take over huge amounts of everything in the future. What we'll need is a universal basic income, and then we'll need to pray that most of us don't turn into sloths. Because we need to still have like some incentive for people to be able to try and contribute to society, to try and learn, to try and grow as people. Because the massive, we got crazy shit coming in the future. What do we got right now for timing? Let me just hop over here real quick. Let's see how close we are to market open. 8:22. We got 5 minutes. Sorry, till market open. Also, economic data is coming out. At 5 minutes too. We'll get the S&P, at least the first one, the global manufacturing PMI. I don't know why we have. Does anybody know the difference between final? I guess the final is after revision. That's what that is. So that'll come at 8:45, 15 minutes later. But yeah, we got an opening bell coming in a few minutes here, guys. That should be fun. I'll probably leave this playing in the background. Let me actually real quickly look to see if we see any major changes. Tesla almost flat on the day. Apple going even more red. It looks like we're going more red on the day. That doesn't really surprise me. Again, you've got a number of things that aren't super positive sitting in front of us. So I could see markets suffering a little bit. All right, let's see here. TFB, Kramer's turned bearish in crypto. Yeah, I know. Victor Hernandez, dude, I hate Kramer. I'm sorry. People can't take him seriously. That's true. John Mars, I'm selling my house. As soon as I do, I'm moving to Argentina or El Salvador or both. My girlfriend is from Argentina, so we do have a house. Oh, dude, John, you need to let me know, the skinny, on Argentina. My friend Alejandro lives there too, or at least visits quite a bit. I want to get more details about it. Daisy said Morgan Stanley did a new update regarding Tesla price target and drove and just today, did they put out something for drones and aviation? Did they up their price target? Oak said they'll be replaced by robots by doing the socialism stunts. Yes, you can't just demand more pay. When you do that, the jobs will go away. And they might even get a deal that talks about less automation. They'll fucking void it, and they'll totally automate behind the scenes, figure out how they can do it. They'll test it somewhere else, and then they'll get rid of these jobs. Look at California, automation. Look at fast food in general. Automation all over the place, guys. McDonald's is a great representation of that. Most of them now, you don't even order from a person anymore. At least when you go into it, you order from a kiosk, and then people make the food behind the scenes. A lot of that has been automated. I used to work at McDonald's. It's nothing like it used to be. Soon they'll automate. There'll be like 2 or 3 people working at a McDonald's, maybe 2, maybe 1, probably 2 as a backup. And then they'll just feed things. They'll feed things, and they'll make sure the robots are working. There'll be like 1 robot tech that like manages an entire region, or maybe a couple. It's all going away. Sika said, my wife's family fled Romania before the fall of the wall. Holy shit, the stories. America needs to taste socialism a little bit before they regret. Dude, the problem here's the problem with that. And I totally agree, right? Like the fall of the wall was a major event. Here's the problem. Here's what's scary is with technology. If we become dystopian and the government gains control, we might never go back. So I agree that it would be good for America to taste the pains of it. I think they've been tasting the pain with the 10 million plus illegal immigrants that have entered the country, with police reform destroying liberal areas and causing capital to flee en masse, like California, New York, a few others. But I hope to God they make the right decision this election, because I don't think we're having another one. Elon says that, and I don't think he's kidding. I think he's right. He's right about a lot. Every time I've disagreed with Elon, I was railing on his political views during the COVID pandemic. I thought he was doing the wrong stuff. And looking back at it, he was 100% fucking right. And I think he's right about this too. Needs 55. It claims that Tesla deliveries will be prior to market opening on Wednesday, so maybe later today or early tomorrow. That sounds right. It's probably going to be early tomorrow before the market opens. That's probably when. Victor Hernandez, Luke Automata, yeah, he is. Think X00 Jesse, which option are you in CLSK? I can't find it in Discord. I do have it in Discord. If you go over, guys, in Discord, you should have access to this. If you don't, let me know. But if you go up here, I put a post right up here before my recent one. If you click into here, it will show you what my allocations were in my account. You should find all of the stuff you need right there. And I will try and do a better job displaying it. I'm going to try and make it to where like you'll have this view down here. You'll have this pie chart with options versus stock in it. And then also you'll have a crypto portfolio next to it. And then you'll see the strikes and calls of everything that I'm in my portfolio allocation as well. So all three of those will be updated at least once a week. And I might even start, if I can automate a bunch of it, it will be more than that. I'm going to get over here because the opening bell is coming. And again, we're going to be getting economic data soon. But I'll still roll through chat. All right, you guys are talking to each other. My cousin in Germany pays 42 cents a kilowatt hour. That's fucking insane. I pay 13 right now, and there are spots where you can get a lot better than that. 42 is insane. Isn't that sad? Look at what your country is turning into, Dennis. That's fucking stupid. TFB says, Clean Spark 37, July 2025. Thank you for answering that. You guys are great. Les Walter can hear both driver and passenger. That's fucking insane. All the time. For Ford, all the time? Fuck that. Apple made a huge mistake, Kyle Wright said. I got to get this stuff out of my throat. When he chose Sam Altman over Elon Musk. Oh, totally. It's fucking stupid. But that's what happens when you have a liberal agenda. You make bad decisions. Let's see here. They said it's for ads. They can sell you. Fuck, that's insane. That's insane, guys. Ads in your fucking car? Are you talking about for Ford ads? Or are you talking about, are we on Apple Intelligence? What are we talking about? TFB, the true moderates are tolerant. That is why I stayed with you even when you trashed Trump. Thanks, TFB. That's smart. And again, I'm a centrist. I voted for Obama twice. I voted for Trump the first time because I think I told my wife I was voting for Hillary Clinton, and then I just voted Trump. So like whatever. And then I voted for Biden because I thought Trump was the devil because I watched 20-second clips and I didn't understand what was really happening in the world. And when you look at the actual facts and the truth, it's frightening. All right, so let's see here real quick. It looks like market open in a minute. I'm going to let these guys talk. I don't give a fuck what they have to say. DJT stock is pumping. Are you talking about the Donald J. Trump one? I don't really care about that. I don't think it's a good investment. Lewis. Daniel Dibb, Manny247, Sleepy Joe. So no one. Yeah, nobody gives a fuck. Sleepy Joe is just relaxing. He's not paying attention to hurricanes. And Kamala don't give a fuck. Casper Holt, how can no voter ID be a thing? I thought EU was trolling. No, dude, it's fucking real. They literally, the Department of Justice is fighting, I forget which state it is, they're fighting a state that cleared their voter rolls and removed dead people and people that like literally ones that shouldn't be registered anymore because they want to use those. They want to use those dead people so that they can, illegal immigrants can say that. There's so much disgusting shit. We should have same-day voting. We should have paper ballots to where we don't have to worry about people modifying or hacking into voting machines. And we should let everybody, it should be a national holiday where everybody gets to get out and vote. But Democrats don't want that. They want control. It's very clear. It's very clear on what they're trying to accomplish right now. And it's sad. I think it's fucking sad. All right, we got market open.
Real-time exchange with the big board.
Ding, 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 ding. We're going to look at economic data, and then we're going to jump over.
It is Hologic, maker of diagnostics, kicking off breast cancer awareness month.
So I don't want to say I don't give a shit about breast cancer, but that's not what my focus is right now. Let's look at the 8:30 data. Oh, and that's, I was being retarded. I forgot I have Canada on here. So Canada's global PMI for September is 50.4, which is 0.4 lower than forecast. So that's actually kind of good. While I'm in here, I'm trying to follow major markets around the United States and around the world. Canada is kind of like iffy on that, but it's next to the U.S. So I follow the U.S., I follow Mexico, I follow other major markets, I follow Argentina, I follow El Salvador, stuff like that. And so looking over here, again, it looks like maybe a rebound in Canada. That's not bad. So that's a good sign. So we get ours, it looks like at 8:45, but now that we have opening bell, I'm going to move some things around here. We're going to look at the portfolio. Tesla or Apple doing really good, up 2.29, and then Tesla. Or I'm sorry, Apple. Whoa. Okay. So here's the day. Apple down, everything down. Tesla up 0.42. Love that. Let's look at my portfolio though. Oh, here I got two of these open. Let's go over here and let's go to the watch list and let's see how the watch list is doing. Real quickly, we got again SSE Composite doing crazy good. We'll ignore that for now. And that's all Shanghai stuff, right, guys? That's the Shanghai index hitting record levels for 16 years. We've got Bonk up. We've got Optimism up. We got a lot of crypto up. Loving that. Bonds are actually up today. Interesting. Avalanche, Hang Seng, Atom is up. Sol, Doge, Meta, Goog, Silver, Uranium. It looks like, let's see what else we got here. Nvidia is up a little bit today. PayPal's up 0.58%. Love that. The dollar index is up. So PayPal being up, Palantir's up a little bit. I don't know. Was Tesla up there or is it down lower? Maybe it's went red now. Very possible. Tesla's probably going to be flat on the day. Maybe it goes up a little bit. But tomorrow when they crush deliveries, I think it's going to look great. So it looks like not too bad. Some stuff dropping today. Let's see. ARKG dropping. That's not a big deal. Mara, yeah, miners are taking a little bit of a hit. I think that's all good. It'll be interesting to see what goes up today. Maybe I'll end up selling some PayPal. Somebody asked why I would sell Tesla and buy into crypto if I have such strong conviction in Tesla. It's risk management. I have 35% of my portfolio in Tesla. I have 17% in PayPal. I do believe strongly that these will do well, but as they do well, I'm lowering my risk and I'm delving into things that I think are going to do even better in the next 6 months to a year. So I'm trying to diversify risk. These are options on Tesla. These are options on PayPal. I've got heavy multipliers behind this stuff, guys. So it's risk management. It's just managing. I mean, I can tell you this, dude. I had a ton of people asking me why the fuck are you buying Tesla when it's near $100? Why would you do that? It's going lower. Why would you buy Tesla at $150? Why are you doing that? You're being an idiot. Why are you buying Tesla at $150 over here? Why are you doing that? I can tell you both these times when I was down in the low hundreds, when I was down over here in the 150s, 140s, and I was buying the shit out of my calls and I made tons of money off of them. Because again, if we go down here, this hasn't updated yet. It's probably, I don't know, maybe it's right, but 126% gains. I've already cashed out over $500,000 in gains on this thing. I still have over probably 1.25 million between both accounts right now. And just in this one account, my cost basis is only 450,000, even with all the money I've already cashed. So I'm diversifying my risk. I'm adding multipliers all over the fucking place, and it's incredibly beneficial. I'm going to do something real quick. I need to take my potty break real quickly. So I'm going to do that. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to let you guys listen to the market open here and just a few of the conversations that are happening. I'm going to take you back a ways, though, because they said a few other things about oil and Apple, and I want you guys to hear their take on it. So we're going to start right here, and I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds, and then we're going to go over a bunch of stuff.
It's rarely been as strong, and it's been a great reason to own Signet, David. Great reason.
What do you make of this Barclays call, Jim, on Apple cutting iPhone 16 builds, likely indicative of weak demand? I'm reading a headline here.
Yesterday we had a strong demand
from the piece itself.
Yes.
I know. We're in that season of yes and no, and yes and no. It's not going to be good. It is. There's a quick
Why didn't Mike
excerpt.
Sievert tell me that business is really good for him? T-Mobile is going to be selling so many.
Would he tell you if it wasn't? Mike does. I have a lot of respect for Mike, but he can tend toward being somewhat promotional.
I asked him twice. I told, look me in the eye and tell me, is it really good? Camera and I said, is it really good? Usually don't mention on air what people say. He said, look, yes, it's really good.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. And by the way, look at his stock. It's not like he's like, well, hold on, what does he know? I mean, put his stock up against Verizon and AT&T. Can we do that? Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile? I think you'll see a little bit different.
Yes, no, it's something I pointed out many times. Now, AT&T shares have had a good year. Verizon's okay.
Already bored with this shit. Crude prices move lower. Oh, I am curious what they're saying about this. I know what I believe to be true. 1 second here.
would be, and then potentially consider issuing.
I really do hope, because they should have done 20.
I believe you. Not familiar with his work.
Whippersinger was an amazing
Never mind. It's just
labor leader.
it's just them talking, and then I don't know that they're actually touching on oil at all. So fuck those guys. All right, so we're getting closer. We're about 8 minutes away from getting our economic data in regard to PMI, so that should be fun. Let me just keep rolling through chat here real quick. If you guys see anything interesting on the screen you want me to cover, we'll go over it. Casper Holt, yeah, it's laughing my ass off. In Europe, you need ID, and if it's expired, you can't even vote. Then there's the USA that don't even ask for IDs anymore. You know, we have mail-in voting. We did a bunch of stuff during the pandemic to try and basically weaken voting in the United States, and then they used Biden's puppet career in order to be able to. You got to remember, guys, Democrats 6 weeks ago, they were telling you that Biden was perfectly healthy and that he was doing a great job managing the country, and then they flipped him out. He was a puppet. Kamala is a puppet too. This is just the globalists that are looking to run the country. They tell her what her orders are, which is why she repeats the same lines and can't actually say anything on her own. This is why they had her cheat in the last debate and gave her all the questions in advance so that she had telegraphed answers that were orchestrated. She probably practiced them over and over again, and then she knew that she wouldn't be called out. U.S. buys 6 million barrels of oil for the strategic reserve. We'll have to look at that and see how the reserve is doing. Anthony C. Clear, I live in Canada, and if Poilievre is not elected next year, Trump is in power, I'm moving down south. Yeah, I actually think that I would probably butcher his name, but I think he's going to win in Canada, and I think Trump can still win in the United States. If both those things happen, and you're a fucking globalist, elitist asshole, good fucking luck taking over the world. We will fuck you up. You're going to lose. Alvaro Rojas. The New World Order brings third world people into countries because they're easy to replace and manipulate and control. Exactly. They know that they'll vote for them because they allow them in and will allow their families to come here too. And then you're right. Then they can establish complete and utter control of the voting systems within the country, which means they can do whatever they want and they can push their agenda. That is the exact purpose. Mark Sanchez, Argentina, messy town. You might become a soccer fan moving to Argentina. I'm okay with that. Alex Garcia, Trump has been demonized by MSN. He has. He's not a bad person. I really don't think he's a bad person. And then even, again, the January 6th bullshit is all bullshit. He literally asked for National Guard to be there so that they could prevent something like that, and he was refused it. And then also we have what it looks like FBI agents that help penetrate the White House. This isn't even like this. It's not even conspiracy theory stuff anymore, guys. It's like we know this stuff is happening. Mark Zuckerberg let us know that the FBI and the government were controlling the news before the election. David Spinda, because they divide to conquer. They do. Casper Holt, I love the rant. Think XO, laugh my ass off. It's fucked up. Manny247, the core of all religion is peace and love. Some religions. Alex, I don't know, man. There's government and religions that are pretty evil to the core, but they tell you stuff like that. Yes, crazy. Those books are Andrea Pasco, Preach, David Spinda, Alvaro, Real Talk. They prefer kill the bright minds and keep the sheep. Yes. Jason St. Jean, listening to you today. How were you ever liberal? I'm liberal on freedom. I'm liberal on freedom. I don't think we should tell people what sexual orientation they can be. I don't think we should tell people how to live their lives as long as they're not hurting other people in society. If they're hurting people, if they're committing crimes in public, if they're doing drugs in public around small children, if they're trying to molest small children, if they're doing horrible fucking things, they should be locked up. But outside of that, if people are doing their own things in their life, I think that you leave them alone. But again, you don't incentivize them to do drugs. You don't incentivize them to do crime. So, yeah, the Liberal Party moved on me. I say I was liberal, but I was probably a centrist the whole time. They just moved. They became the party of war. They became the party of corporations. They became the party of evil. David Spinda, that's not about Trump or Kamala or Kamala. I've said this before. It's between good and evil. It is right now. Yes, it is very much between good and evil. The only problem is the evil think they're good. They think that their version of the future, that they should force it upon humanity because it's better. Alex Garcia, miners taking a hit. Looks like Amazon selling off. Yeah, let's look over here again. Let's keep this up. I don't see a lot going on with these guys right now. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla down 1%. Yeah, today might be a down day on some of these. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. We'll have to see if the portfolio, if there's anything worth selling and buying other stuff. Oh yeah, everything's down. Look at today, guys. Everything is down. So we're getting a nice sell the news, or maybe this is port strike related. People are worried. Whatever. It's we're right at extreme fear anyways. This will just be a nice reset. What's crazy, Jesse, is that it's white people pushing white hate. I know, it's so weird. It doesn't even make sense. Those people are NPCs. Yep, they're NPCs listening to the machine. That new one, I forget what his name is. Not Charlie Kirk, but the guy, I forget his name. He has that new movie basically showing liberals that are like completely insane. I haven't watched it yet. I want to. I've seen clips. Kumar, morning, Jesse. I might buy January 2026 calls at $255 per contract. It's a slight difference than your call. Yeah, if you could get cheap, great, man. Get better deals than I got. John Morris, will do for sure. David Chapinda, Manny, real talk. When you know the real God, you learn that you practice. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not religious, but here's the thing, though. I do believe out of most religions in the world, Christianity is one that has a great moral ethic and code to it, and I live by that code. I think, again, I can't, outside of maybe some shit they did in the Crusades and a long time ago, right? Christians have been bad people throughout history too, but again, I think the moral code, if you look at it biblically, it's a good one. It's a good one. I think it's a lot better than radical Islam. David Chapinda, sorry my English, I'm trying. No worries, dude. Vote Trump. John Mars, David Chapinda, Alex Garcia, Kumar. Those might be too far in the cycle or too late. Thank you. Trying to get caught up in chat. You guys talk so much. I'm just going to maybe skip a couple here. We have 20 cents per kilowatt in Colombia, dude. A poor country, but rich in hydro. Yeah, isn't that crazy? 46% or something in Germany. 46 cents per kilowatt hour, I think it was, but 20 cents in Colombia. And then here in the United States, in the Midwest where I am, it's 13 cents. And it's lower. There's some people paying 6 cents, dude. And 40 cents in Denmark. Isn't that bullshit? All right, let's keep rolling down here. I'm going to try and get through if the casino is open. Yes, it is. Daniel Dibb. I managed El Salvador voting in other countries, Spain as well, where I live. They give you 1 day to vote from 8 a.m. till 10 o'clock at night. It should be like that in the U.S. Why are we not better than third world countries? And I mean, El Salvador is quickly turning into a first world country, but more so than us. Concord, voting should be on a blockchain, permissionless, verifiable. I think it should be on Bitcoin, but yeah, I agree. Queso Fresco, what up, Jesse? Good morning. All on my one. Finally getting caught up in chat. At my Tesla price, would you start selling? At what Tesla? I've been selling on the way up. I'm selling options though, and so some of them are getting like 10% in a day. Like yesterday, I was up 6% in the morning, and I sold about $30,000 worth, and I was able to buy a bunch of other things at good prices. Toshi, direct democracy. Elites don't trust the people to make decisions. That's exactly right. They think they're doing it for the betterment of humanity. They don't want lay people like us to have different opinions. Sidecar guy, thanks for answering my question on risk management. You're welcome, dude. Victor Hernandez, CleanSpark down 3%. I think a lot of things are down. If we go over here, guys, let's actually go to the watch list, and I'll just kind of leave this up for now. I'm sure a bunch of stuff is down today. The VIX is up. Some cryptos are up. Shitcoins are still up. This is so fascinating. Uranium is up. Oil's up. The dollar's up. Meta's up. So but the things that are down are vast. So bonds are up. Oil's up. Dollar's up. This is a typical down day. But if we sort by what's down, again, Cypher, CleanSpark, Bitfarms, Mara. So the Bitcoin miners are taking the big hit, but shitcoins are doing well. This is fascinating stuff. This is really fascinating stuff. And then I'm willing to bet Tesla's probably kind of in the middle. Yeah, down 0.66%. What about PayPal? Is PayPal actually being strong? Down 0.21. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay. Yeah, interesting markets today, guys. Very interesting. Let me sort by percentage gainers. I just want to see who's doing well. And we'll leave it there for now. Haywood Jablomi. Trump is a wild card the shadow government can't control. That's why they've tried to kill him twice. And there's this 40-foot statue of his cock hanging out. I'm amazed they made it as big as they did. You think they would have, turned him into a statue of David or something. but just obscene. Imagine, somebody said this yesterday. Imagine this. Pretend like somebody made a 40-foot statue of Kamala Harris with her vagina hanging out. What do you think the press would say? But with Donald Trump, it's okay somehow after 2 murder attempts against him in this election to have a 40-foot statue of his cock hanging out and following the Kamala Harris campaign. Does that make any sense, guys? Well said. Iran prepping ballistic missile attack against Israel. That's funny. That's pathetic. Don't worry about that stuff. Israel can take them out in 2 seconds. Israel already proved that they can literally wipe them out. Oh, hey guys, we do have data coming. 1 second here. Let's hop over to it. I'm going to go back a few seconds. Got to listen to my boy Rick Santelli.
And the rest of it, who knows what's going to happen.
And I will give more thoughts on Israel and Iran. Basically, it boils down to this. Don't worry about Iran at all. Israel already showed them a long time ago that they could wipe out every facility they have overnight if they want to. They're more than capable of wiping out any ballistic missiles before they leave the ground.
Yeah.
Dow's down 300. Jolt's ISM coming up at the top of the hour, but first some PMIs. Let's get to Rick Santelli. Hey, Rick.
Rick.
Yes, S&P Global Manufacturing PMIs. This is our sub-final read. We take the mid-month read and toss it. The mid-month read was 47.0. It moves up a bit to 47.3, but it still remains the weakest month-over-month level going back to June of 23. And obviously, it still remains the 3rd consecutive reading under 50. A lot going on in the world today. Yes, we have more data points. And even with the drop in rates and the flattening of the yield curve, 370 and a 10 down 8, against the boons, the distance of 170 basis points is actually the widest in 2 months as European yields fall. We're at the lowest yields of the year in Europe on their 10s, on their 2s, 2-year low. And we want to continue to monitor, of course, their inflation data. The month over month was pretty good. Year over year headline, like here, all like here was pretty good. Year over year core CPI at 2.7 is sticky, just like it was here. Squawk on the Street will return after a short break.
All right, thank you, Rick. Let's just look over here, too, with our own eyes. So global PMI manufacturing, 47.3 versus 47 for forecast and consensus. This is actually better than expected. This should hopefully give markets a little bit of reprieve. If we look over here, again, we're deeper, and it's in contraction territory, but it was better than expected, which is good. And let's see if we have a breakdown at the top. PMI was revised. So U.S. manufacturing PMI was revised higher to 47.3 in December 2024 from a preliminary of 47. So they actually ended up revising it. That's why it's the final, but remaining the lowest since June of 2023. Manufacturing PMI in the United States averaged 53.23 points from 2012 until 2024. So it's averaged 53. We're well beneath that, but we did have a revision that's 0.3 higher. So it's better news. Is it going to be enough to actually move anything? I don't know. We'll see. What else do we have coming later? Again, we've got more. We've got ISM manufacturing PMI coming. That was the S&P Global that we just looked at, the final read where they revised it higher. And again, we've got Jolt's job openings, ISM manufacturing employment, construction spending, ISM manufacturing new orders, prices, Jolt's job quits, and that's all at 9 o'clock. So that's all happening, guys, in 10 minutes. So we got a bunch of other economic data coming in. You couldn't hear Rick? You should have been able to hear Rick. Oh, whatever. I'm going to keep going. Am I racist with Matt Walsh? That's what that video was called. The movie I want to watch. I'm very interested in it. It looks like these guys are just a bunch of dipshits. It looks very entertaining. Jesse, will you buy a Bugatti? $50 million portfolio celebration? Nah. I'm gonna get a Roadster. I'm getting a second Roadster, guys. It's so much better of a car. And the crazy thing is, it's a 4-seater. I can put my kid in the back. Daisy port strike. That's the primary driver, I think, of the market downturn right now. But if we get good economic data, I think people will start to overlook that. And I think tomorrow, when Tesla beats deliveries, they're going to do really good. Les Walter, with Tesla EVs, government will need to start taxing mild to keep the roads up. Yeah, they won't be able to use a gas tax, will they? Good point. Wealth, Iran prepping ballistic missile. Yeah, so again, I don't think that's a big deal. It's noise. Don't worry about it. That might also, though, be a narrative that's driving markets down. But Iran is completely incapable of doing anything against Israel. They've already proven that. They're pathetic. You got to remember, Israel wiped out all of Hezbollah leadership in like a week. In a week, everybody, all of them gone. And now they're wiping out the people towards their border. Israel is a beast when it comes to fighting. And again, you know what? I don't think people realize this because you're not from the Middle East. Most of you are Western, right? And maybe people in the Middle East can attest to this. But the Iranian people, the vast majority of them that are not a part of the government in Iran, they were cheering the death of this asshole. There were people in Lebanon cheering the death of this last guy, the leader of Hezbollah. And most of the Middle East, because these people have done horrible things to Arabs across the Middle East, and in the name of religion and radicalism. And so Israel's doing them a favor. There's a lot of people in Iran that would dance with Israel if they had the opportunity. People think things are so black and white. It's not. The Middle East is super complicated. Alex Garcia sold a couple of PayPal contracts and bought some CLSK. How are they doing today? I should actually probably pay attention to some of this shit. This is my portfolio. Is this updating at all? Let me move this off screen real quick, guys. I'm going to show you what's going on in the markets real quick and see if there's anything. VIX still up. Let me see. Is there anything? Are we seeing any shifts? Let's take a look at maybe Bitcoin. And I do need to go through some other charts in regard to macro stuff. So Bitcoin's still down. So it looks like Bitcoin and the broader markets, guys. I'm not seeing them. Let's check Tesla. I'm not seeing them getting super excited about the data we saw. So down 2%. It looks like that revision didn't help at all. And maybe there's the fear of the stupid narrative about Iran getting ready to attack Israel. I just think that's the dumbest shit. It's amazing what people consider news and what moves markets. It always shocks me. All right, so let's look over here. So CleanSpark, this hasn't refreshed. It's not even 9 yet. So some of this stuff isn't really going to reflect without going in and trying to trade it. So I probably won't look too closely at this. PayPal down 0.78%. It's going to be a down day in markets. I don't own any of the bonds because I sold them yesterday. So I won't be well positioned for it, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to sit and hold pattern right now, guys, and I'm perfectly fine with that being the case. I don't care if we get a little bit of a reset. Would I have liked to have had more money for this? Yes, always. Christopher Capuno says, wow, James talked about Cypherpunk and it's still ripping. Again, I said this in a comment down below. He has the ability to move markets. David Chapinda, Bitcoin robotics are in favor of people if well management. Yes, exactly. But you will need things like UBI, universal basic income, in some way. Hopefully, tied with some kind of meritocracy incentive plan that still encourages capitalism and for people to do more without not working at all. Iran gonna make the worst mistake of their life. They can't do shit. Les Walter, it's all talk. It's all fluff. You got to remember, last time they flew like 200 rockets over, like a couple of them actually landed. And they were hitting like fields and blowing up cows and shit. So nothing too exciting. It's also like he is hung. I mean, by the neck. Yeah, I know. For Trump. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. TFB, Jesse, if you dive into the real history of the Christian Crusades, it will open your eyes to just how, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying evil shit happened in the name of Christianity. Whether it needed to happen to overthrow things that were going on at the time, I won't refute that. I'm just saying in the name of religion, there have been times that have been pretty brutal and where horrible things have happened in the name of religion. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't justified. I'm not saying that. Christopher Capuno, there's just bad people that will do things when they have power, right? Whether it's religious power or political power. It's what makes some of these things dangerous. But again, I actually believe Christianity and the moral code that goes with it is wonderful for humanity. Especially its version now. I think it's a lot less radical now. I mean, we're not burning witches on the stake, right? Christopher Capuno, definitely moved that one. Heinz, my bad, volume was low. That'll do it. Luke Automata, the IDF, and you know, I mute every once in a while too, bro, so that could have been on me. Luke Automata, the IDF was officially released footage of Hezbollah's terror tunnels in southern Lebanon. Hezbollah planned to carry out another October 7th. I am not surprised by that at all. This has been planned for a very long time, guys. Oh, and here's the fear-mongering about what's going on in Iran. Let's get over to that real quick. and see. All right, here we go. So let me just.
Quote has
NDC.
Good lineup.
That's a good lineup.
Went too far.
Really good lineup.
All right, so we'll listen to
You're
this.
welcome.
Say it. What'd you say?
I said that's a really good lineup, Jim.
While we have time, guys, let's get quickly to Megan Casella, NDC, with some of this breaking news this morning. Megan?
Hey, Carl. So we have breaking news that a senior White House official and a Defense Department official have told NBC News that the U.S., quote, has indications that Iran is preparing to imminently launch a ballistic missile attack against Israel. I'm going to read you the rest of the statement here. They say we are actively supporting defensive preparations to defend Israel against this attack. A direct military attack from Iran against Israel will carry severe consequences for Iran. Now, I do want to note, too, that administration officials have been anticipating this sort of response from Iran. They say that the country has been postured to move quickly if it wants, but that the Iranians say they still do not want a wider war. So that's the latest from the White House. Moved lower on this. Treasury yield hit a session.
This is all fucking stupid. This is all noise. This is all just to move markets. I don't know if anybody is doing it deliberately, but it's just fucking noise. Algos love this shit. They can't do anything. And this was me going like this, okay? If that wasn't clear, just saying that none of this fucking matters. All right, let's keep going. Jesse, do you plan to stay in the leveraged ETFs like MS for long? No, fuck no, BD. So BD's asking, do I plan on staying in a leveraged 2x Bitcoin investment fund and a 1.75x MicroStrategy fund for 6 months? Fuck no. I could be out of those in as little as 30 days, depending upon what they do. And that's like this fund here, the 2x. Again, I'm down 5.49. I'll continue to add to it when I'm able to. It doesn't look like there's a lot that is green today to work with. The funny thing is, it looks like today I'm up on my Argentinian fund, but I only have 26,000 in it. Maybe I'll use that as leverage. That is going to move slower. So maybe I'll use that to buy more crypto today. I hate doing that because I really want to build up this fund, but it might be an opportune time because I've only lost 1.28% on this position. And some of these things are down a decent chunk today. I don't know what CleanSpark calls are down. It says 5.11. It could be even worse than that. And then again, just like the BITX, the MSTX, these are down a decent amount. If we see Argentina doing really well on their fund today, or just chopping, and we see this other stuff dropping a lot, I might dump 25K of that. And I can always buy it back when I make money, but I might use that. This is how I kind of rebalance every once in a while. I don't like to consider myself a day trader. I'm a swing trader because I'm looking out long for my plan. My plan is at least 6 months to several years out. I plan out 5 years pretty much. It's hard to go beyond that, and really 3 is probably the right time frame, maybe 2 to 3. But now, honestly, it's probably 6 months to 2 years. That's probably the sweet spot because it's so hard to go beyond that. But I mean, I can know this, right? I can know that if I want to buy that Tesla's going to do well in 5 years. Tesla's probably going to do well in 10 years. Bitcoin's going to do well in 10 years. I can have these long-term theses, but for the most part, I like 6 months to 2 years as far as a time frame to think about, and then I'll rebalance and reallocate as appropriate. Let's keep going down through here. Great stream, Jesse. I added to my, I'm assuming, BTC position. Everyone hit the like. Thank you, Maytag. Or BITX. Okay, great. That's probably great. I think I'm going to do that in a second, too. I might sell my Argentinian one. I hate doing it. I will buy back. Alex Garcia, when missiles fly, you buy. Art Cashin. That's true. That's exactly right, guys. Think about this. We got missile flight. That's what we care about today. Port closures. Is it at all odd that this happened right when we were at extreme greed yesterday? Again, I just posted about this on X. I showed you, let me just go back here. I showed you what bar chart, and everybody was talking about yesterday on X, right? At the end of the day, everybody wanted you to know that we were at extreme fear, right? Everybody wanted you to know that. Why? Why did we get to extreme greed? Why did we get to extreme greed yesterday? And then today, magically, everybody's worried about the port strike and now an attack from Iran. And this is what we see on the news headlines. This is just a normal part of the process where you see the fear and greed index take a dip. Maybe it takes a few dip. Maybe it goes down even further today. And then we get a reset and then we go higher. Art Cashin is 100% right. When missiles fly, you buy. Joseph Mock, what do you buy or sell since open? Nothing yet, but I might sell my ARGT, and I might use that to buy Bitcoin-related investments today. Joseph Mock, in fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. Rocky A, best to take those gains from leveraged positions and buy the underlying asset for long-term investment. I 100% agree. You don't hold the BITX, the MSTX. They rebalance every day. You hold those for as little time as you have to. BD, thanks, buddy. Wealth, would you add on CleanSpark? I might, actually. I might do that today. After this stream is done, I might actually do that. Let me check time. It's 9:01. We've got more economic data. Let's get over to it, guys. So, lots of data. Let's see how it's processing. Let's look real quickly, though, at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's getting a little bounce, I think. Tesla, not so much. Let's look at the economic data and see if it's telling. So we've got Jolt's job openings came at 8.04. So job openings have grown. That actually is probably good news because the forecast is 7.65, consensus is 7.65. We want to know that the job market is strong. I would say this is good news. I like this number. I don't want to see job openings dropping much further than they are already. I want to see them increasing. So I like that data point. ISM manufacturing employment is 43.9. It was supposed to be at 47 for forecast and consensus. That is bad news. We want to see this growing. We're not seeing employment growth. That is bad news. Let's look here at levels. Let's go out 5 years. We're at the lowest level in 5 years outside of the pandemic. We're at the lowest level in 10 years outside of the pandemic. And we're at the lowest level since the 2008 great financial crisis outside of the pandemic. That's not super great news. We want that to be better. Construction spending is negative 0.1%. That was the forecast, but consensus was 0.1%. So that came in lower than consensus. So that's a slight negative, not too bad. ISM manufacturing new orders came in at 46.1. We wanted that to be, or that was forecast at 46. That is slightly better than expected. So that's a good thing. We're actually seeing ISM orders starting to tick up a little bit. It's still in contraction territory, but it's getting better. Ooh, this is good. Manufacturing prices came in lower. They came in at 48.3. Again, deflation from China, guys. They were expected at 54.6 and 53.3. This is good. This is good. We want to see prices going down. More than the other stuff, right? We want orders to pick up. We want that stuff to be better. And orders were, again, 0.1 better, but prices are coming down. Deflation being exported to this country, I'll take that every day of the week. Are people quitting their jobs? Fuck no, they aren't. That's good. So we know that there's more openings now. Now, that you could make an argument against maybe you don't have skilled labor for it. But it's good that we're getting more openings, and it's good that people are quitting their jobs less. It means less rotation for the wage sector, which should keep margins high for businesses. All of this is good. Let's listen to my boy Rick Santelli say his part, give his view while we're here. And we'll wait for him to come up, and then I will say my thing. It looks like the 30-year Treasury coming down, the 10-year, the 5-year, the 2-year. All these yields are coming down, guys. I love that. Real quickly before he does his part, I am going to look at something else, guys. So we're looking at the dollar. The dollar is going up, but look at this. Like clockwork, it's rejecting here. Is it possible it rolls over early? I don't know. I still think we break up a little bit and then we roll over. But it's good that the dollar is coming back down a little bit. It's good that it's struggling next to this other area that was support previously, now turned into resistance. I do still think we've got a bull flag here, though. We got the 200 underneath of us. I think we launch first, and then we go down. So interesting moves in the dollar. Let's look real quickly at the yen carry trade. Today, the dollar is losing strength against the yen. No carry trade concerns. Today, the dollar is flat on the yuan, no concerns there. The ruble, the dollar is stronger against the ruble. Russia feeling some pressure here. I really do think that, again, I've said this before, but if Trump gets elected, the ruble is going to see a lot less pressure, and it's going to start to get better because that war will be coming to an end, and they'll realize that Trump's probably going to work with Russia to try and end things. We want Russia to stop being so dependent upon China. We want them to have to lean out to us and to suckle off our tits for a while. So this is all good if he gets elected. If he doesn't, the ruble is going to just get destroyed because they'll look at Kamala Harris continuing the war in Ukraine and Russia, which is bad for, I would argue, that entire region and also really bad for Russia. Put call ratio, I want to look at that real quick. Are people buying insurance today? Of course they are. They buy insurance when they get worried. When markets go down, that's when people actually seem to give a shit about insurance. They should care about insurance when it's way down here and getting near historic lows. That's when you buy insurance. You don't buy it when markets are red. That's a stupid fucking way of doing it. All right, let's go through other stuff. We got gold. Is gold going up? Of course it is today. Hitting new or close to 52-week highs. Not a new 52-week high today, but close to it. Oil's going up today. Why is oil going up today? Because bombs are flying. Bombs are flying, and we love that. So oil goes up, and then people get their slightly higher prices. I am still leaning on. I don't know what I'm leaning towards. It all depends on the election. So interesting takes on some of this. Let's go back over and get Rick Santelli's thoughts on what just happened, not just my own, and then I'll start looking through chat and trying to respond to people there too. Oh, sorry. Turn this on.
After the Powell speech yesterday, some economic data just crossing the tape. Let's get straight to Rick Santelli in Chicago. Hi, Rick.
Hi, thank you. Sarah, we're looking at construction spending. It was estimated to be reversing last month's drop, but that's not to be. Down 1/10, and that follows a negative revision for last month from down 0.3% to down 0.5%, which means last month remains the weakest level since Feb of 21, and this doesn't improve it very much. JOLTS, job openings and labor turnover, expected to be a bit under 7.7 million, comes in better, over 8 million, 8,040,000, and that follows a slightly revised 7,711,000. That number ends up being the best since May, May, when it was 8,223,000. So an improvement there on the jobs front. Now we have 4 different categories for the ISM PMIs on the manufacturing headline for September, 47.2, and that follows 47.2. Now the 6th consecutive read under 50, which is contraction. If we look at prices paid, this is a component we want to be moving lower. We're expecting 53.5, a huge drop. This is key. 48.3. That is the weakest level of the year, and that takes us back to the end of last year when it was 45.2. New orders have had 5 negative.
See, the thing I don't like is he should say that's really good. He should say what it means. Whatever.
Reads under 50 in a row. Does this make it 6? It certainly does. 46.1, and it's odd because 46.1 actually is better than our last look. So we see the deterioration remains. Last month's 44.6 was the weakest since May of 23. And finally, ISM employment. Important week for an employment index because, of course, tomorrow's ADP, followed by Friday's big jobs report. 43.9, a huge drop. 43.9, 43.4 in July, and there's where it matches up. Yes, yields are holding at 370 level, which is down 8. The curve continues to flatten. At one point, we were looking at 20 basis points. Now that's down to 12. Carl, Sarah, back to you.
Wow, a lot of important information, Rick.
All right, we'll see what they have to say in a second. Somebody said Palantir doing well, or Palantir. They said Palantir exclamation. Let's look. Palantir is up today, 0.48%. I'd still get a rollover. I wouldn't get too excited. All right, let's see what else we got here. Marty Cohen says, Jesse, you got the old school, no bullshit attitude. I love it. Keep preaching the truth, brother. I try to. I'm wrong sometimes, but I'm pretty good. And I said, somebody said maybe the Middle East threat is real, and I said it's not real. Alex Garcia, only stock up today is Palantir. Is it the only stock? I don't think that's true. Let's see here real quick. Let me go back. Yeah, fuck it. I'll just do it here. Let me go to the watch list. Roy says, a Bank of England down 40% in 1 year. I mean, I believe it. So it's gonna come on, TradingView. What are you doing, TradingView? All right, so let's look here. VIX is still up. Shit coins are still doing well. Bonds are doing well. Uranium's doing well. Oil's doing well. Gold's doing well. And Palantir's up, Sol's up, Meta's up. So not the only stock. Baba's up, but I mean that market's closed, so whatever. Yeah, so you're right. Not a lot. Not a lot. All right. Let's look here. Iranian attack expected in the next few hours. Oh no. So scary. Axios. Watch out, guys. The world is coming to an end in 2 hours. Sell all your stock now. Or you can listen to Art Cashin and buy. Satchery said, I'm guessing Rick didn't write what he's reading. Yeah, that's true. He gives his take sometime, though. He does. He will lose his fucking mind and give his take. Trust me. Disease Kodak, exactly, BD. SoFi earnings October 29th at 8 a.m. Meta's up. The threats are real. It's happening. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Yeah, I don't believe any of that. I mean, I believe there's... Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. It's going to be nothing. It's going to be nothing just like every other time. Victor Hernandez, Palantir getting hit like everyone else. No, it's doing good, though, isn't it? Isn't it up? I mean, it's war, right? So Palantir gets the benefit of war today. I do believe, guys, and maybe it's dropping a little bit. I don't know. Where's Palantir at now? Let me go back over here. So let me just pull up Palantir again. Palantir is, I mean, it's still hanging on pretty good. Oh, down 0.62. So it's getting hit a little bit too. I do think that this one, though, is a better hedge against war. I really do believe that. Jesse, the IDF tightened the instructions for the civilians. Yeah, again, I don't doubt that something's happening. I just don't think it matters at all. It does if you're in Israel. Maybe like go to your bunker, but it's not really going to fucking matter. And the U.S. right now and Israel have enough in the way of weapons to easily be able to defend that region. Iran it makes China paper tiger look like nothing. Iran is pathetic. Don't worry about them. Kyle Wright, hey Jesse, just curious on your thoughts on moving ETFs into single holdings. Are there stocks you'd feel comfortable holding for at least a year? Moving ETFs into single holdings. What do you mean by single? Oh, yeah. Maybe you were talking about what I was just talking about earlier. So my ARGT is down 0.3% today. I'm actually real quickly here going to sell it. Which, I don't want to. I want to keep it. I want to keep you, buddy. Don't go. Don't go. I just need cash. Sorry, buddy. So I sold some ARGT. Oh, I want to show that. Probably won't do that on the screen again. But I sold that, and now I got $26,000 in cash. So I will probably buy some stuff in a little bit here, and I'll let you guys know. But I do believe, like, when it's a down day like today, you're going to take advantage of it. Gatherings are restricted to 30 people all over the country. Yeah, they probably should be. Yeah, you guys. So I don't know if you guys are missing what I'm saying. It doesn't fucking matter. Does it matter to tomorrow or Bitcoin that this attack is happening? Actually, for Bitcoin, it'll probably help if there's something crazy going on in the world. We already saw that data from BlackRock showing that since 2020, 6 months out, Bitcoin crushes everything else that you can invest in, whether it be the S&P or gold, after major economic or geopolitical events. So it's good. This event is good for Bitcoin. The attack can be real, but it doesn't fucking matter. The last time these guys attacked Israel, they shot like 200 and something missiles over to the region. It did fucking nothing. And like a week later or days later, Israel literally dropped bombs next to their nuclear power plants and every major military facility they had in the middle of the fucking night to let them know we can destroy you in an instant. And Iran didn't even fucking know where they were. So there is no winning, guys. There's no winning for these guys. Who is telling the press? Washington, the White House. I mean, and Israel is prepping for it. It's not that the attack isn't real. I hope you guys understand that. MU dip. There's dips all over the place, guys. The entire market is down. Let's go back here real quick and look at let's just look at the heat map. And the energy, which is funny, was down earlier before the whole Iran threat. Oh, God, Tesla's down. Ugh, don't buy more. Oh, God, should have sold a little more yesterday to add to my cash. Maybe if I would have took an extra 50. So whoever was asking earlier, like, Jesse, why do you sell Tesla on the way up? I sold $30,000 worth yesterday. That option position is probably down 15+% since that time. That's why I sell on the way up, because then you can buy. So that's how it works. I'm actually going to pull over to this other screen, guys. I'm going to pull over and I'm going to look at what I'm going to buy here, because I'm probably just going to buy something right now. So I'll leave this ugly ass shit sitting in front of you. I'll actually put Bitcoin in front of you for now. Or let's see what these dipshits are talking about. Let's go back over here. We'll let them finish their conversation. I'm going to buy some stuff, and then I'll tell you what it is.
Thank you, Rick Santelli. Meantime, the tape dealing with some of these headlines regarding geopolitics. For more, we'll go back to Megan Casella in D.C. Hey, Megan.
Hey, Carl, we're tracking that breaking news out of the White House. And just to recap here, a senior White House official and a Defense Department official have told NBC News that the U.S., quote, has indications that Iran is preparing to imminently launch a ballistic missile attack against Israel. Now, just for a little bit of color here, administration officials had been anticipating a response from Iran. But as of Monday night, 2 officials had told NBC that the U.S. had not seen any movement of assets or equipment to indicate that this was imminent. So obviously something new here this morning. And
Now it's not happening.
Is also speaking just now, saying that we are at high readiness together with our allies, and that spokesperson saying further that our aerial defense systems are fully prepared. So we do know that the State Department will be briefing at 1:15 p.m. today. We'll be keeping an eye on that, and we'll know more then, if not sooner. We do know so far that the Treasury yields and the dollar index both briefly dipped on this. Guys, back to you.
All right, alert, over.
Have we heard from President Biden at all, or just the comments
MSTX.
from
I'm going to buy a bunch more.
Secretary Austin?
Just those comments. We haven't heard from Biden. There is currently not anything on this.
Biden taking a nap.
President Biden's schedule today related to this. We do expect that to change, though, probably in the next.
Biden's on the beach, guys. He's got other stuff going on. He's not on the North Carolina beach because they had a hurricane go through there, but he's hanging out in Hawaii right now. I'm kidding, but not. All right, one sec. I'm just completing my order. So it looks like I'm going MSTX, guys. MSTX is the play of the day. I have bought $26,000 in MSTX, or I almost have. I'm trying to fucking get my trade through here if I could do my math better. Son of a bitch. I am so bad at this. All right. So I bought $26,000 in MSTX after selling ARGT down 0.3% on the day. I went ahead and devoted that money towards MSTX. I'm going to take a screenshot of that real quick, and I'm going to put it out there for the masses so people know what I'm doing. Everybody that is a subscriber on X, and I will stop showing these during the videos, guys, eventually. And I don't know. I'll probably stop showing my posts during the video because I don't want people that aren't a part of the Discord and or supporting me on X to see this kind of stuff. So I'll put sold 26,000 of something and bought 26,000 of something else. All right, isn't that a dick tease? There we go. All right. And then I'll put that into Discord in a little bit. It's hard to post everything at once, but yeah, so I did go ahead and make that trade. Again, you gotta take advantage of days where people are talking about dropping bombs, especially when the bombs go away. When the bombs go away, that's the best time.
A few minutes here.
Let's see what else we got here. Looking to buy. Oh, I'm going to let this play out, but I am going to mute it. I'm going to speed it up too because I want to make sure I'm not missing anything because this is a... Oh, let's see. What do we got here? Yeah, keep going. I'm just going to get to the latest and greatest here. All right. Looking at MU at 90. Maybe Jesse's buying Tesla call. Nah, it's not down enough, and I still have too much of an allocation. So MSTX is the way to go today for me. Disease Kodak, I think deliveries are good. And it was down like almost 7% when I bought it, which is great. MSTX base and bull price by mid-2025. I don't know. I could probably give you MicroStrategy in a second. There's going to be, it's so impossible to give you MSTX because you're going to have, there's state decay that goes into it. So that needs to be quantified in it as well. And I'm not planning on holding it till 2025. I mean, maybe if I have to. Shelley, we know by now all wars are planned years in advance. Honestly, I mean, nowadays, I mean, maybe. Maybe. All right, it looks like I just lost Restream, so that'll have to come back up. Let's see here. Crude oil. Crude oil spiking? Of course it is. All right, let's see what we got here for the port strike news.
The president.
So today, again, guys, fear and greed gets right next to extreme fear. What happens the next day? It's all negative news cycle. That's all you'll see. That's all CNBC will show today.
61.
And maybe by the end of the day, they're like, but guys, it's not that scary. Buy tomorrow. Or just maybe they wait until tomorrow.
The ILA president saying 61.5% is the number they're seeking. USMX, that's the port operators, they refused to comment on that number, and they said to refer to their statement from yesterday that the two exchange counteroffers.
It's like a fair. They've got music playing in the background.
USMX issuing that statement before the deadline, saying the two traded counteroffers, and that they would offer wage increases of nearly 50% and also add to employer.
Did they bring in food trucks? That's what I'm curious about. They should have brought in food trucks. Maybe they can have like something for the kids to do.
Contributions when it came to healthcare and retirement, and also maintain current language when it came to automation and semi-automation, a very contentious issue when it comes to this negotiation. We also spoke to the White House. They didn't want to comment on the wage demands from the ILA, but they did note that the real wages for the East and Gulf Coast port workers have actually declined over the last 6 years. They also said they wanted to.
Yeah, and that's not good. These guys obviously deserve raises. Hopefully, here's what I hope. I hope Trump works with these guys, because you got to remember they refused to endorse Kamala Harris. I hope what happens is Trump has some conversations and acts as the middleman to try and resolve this dispute, and he gets the glory from it. And I hope he's one of the bigger. He's one of the people that ends up benefiting from helping in with the hurricane devastation too. He's already been on the ground where Biden has not been there and Kamala Harris has not been there. He should be pushing the agenda. I think these things can benefit him.
Referred to their earlier statement from today, saying in part, President Biden and Vice President Harris are closely monitoring the strike at East Coast and Gulf Coast ports. The president has directed his team to convey his message directly to both sides, that they need to be at the table and negotiating in good faith, fairly and quickly. The White House also maintaining it would not use the Taft-Hartley Act to keep ports open and force negotiations. What? However, I've been speaking to many industry groups and their leaders. They want the Biden administration to take further action. Many of them saying across a number of industries, I'm talking spirits, auto parts, agricultural apparel.
Isn't it great that Biden's love of unions is now going to fucking just make the Democratic Party real as these unions all go on strike? Fucking awesome.
That a strike is going to be devastating for not only consumers, but for their businesses.
So we're talking about $200 million a product a day that's going to get stopped at the ports. And that's, if that stays for a long period of time, it's going to be weeks before those goods can be cleared. In addition to shortages, you could see costs start to go up. That's tough medicine at a time when we're trying to reduce prices.
God, it's just fear-mongering day. literally, guys, there's like, I've been listening to people that are probably smarter than whoever the fuck this is, that are saying that the impact won't even be felt until after the election. So it's just funny.
And that was the president of the American Apparel and Footwear Association, representing, sneakers, book packs.
Oh, it's a guy who sells shoes. You should listen to him on the port strike, guys. Real quickly, though, somebody, Deep says, hey, Jesse, between MSTX and MSTU, what can be a better investment? I like MSTX because it has 5 times the volume, average traded volume of MSTU. I do think somebody said that MSTU has a lower expense ratio, which means it's cheaper for what they charge you for a fee to manage it. So I don't know which one will win, but right now there's better volume on MSTX, and that's the one I want to be a part of. Pete, you can thank AH Union Cackle. Disease Kodak, I bought more MSTX too. Ha ha ha. Lowered my risk. Clean Spark options to buy TBH. I had a little too much. Clean Spark options are only down like 4% the last time. The ones I'm in, they were only down. They're down more, 6.75% now. So I don't know if I get an opportunity to buy them in some other way, maybe I will. But I wanted more MSTX. I want more MicroStrategy leveraged exposure. Disease Kodak, I'm comfortable with my position now. Cool, man. Thoughts on BITX versus any other? I like BITX. It's a 2x multiplier versus Bitcoin. It gives you a dividend. Again, it's going to have theta decay like any leveraged fund, but I think it's a decent play.
Backpacks, etc.
I'm going to let this play out, though, and just in regard to the port strike, there's other people that they're going to have talking in a second here, too, and I want to hear their take.
The overall daily impact of the strike is estimated to be as much as $4 billion per day, according to some estimates. Other estimates out there have it about $500 million a day, but either way, it's expected to create congestion at East and Gulf Coast ports. Basically, for every day of a strike, the estimates are it'll create about 1 week of congestion that has to be unwound. Back over to you.
Okay, Frank. And we did see some sell-off in some of these.
Well, I'll just mute this for a second. Again, don't celebrate too early. Palantir down 1%, over 1%, looking like it's ready to roll over. Again, there could be strength in this, but why would people buy in large quantities Palantir stock when the CEO sold $350 million in it, along with others, and it's up 532% in the last year and a half? There's not going to be a lot of capital going to this. It will suffer from rotation. It's how it works. So don't get too excited, is my take. And we'll probably go a little bit longer here, guys. We got more economic data coming out in 3 minutes.
Thanks for having me this morning. So the estimates are changing. You know, when we went to sleep last night before the strike actually occurred, we were hearing estimates around $2 billion, and that was based on historical port closures from West Coast and from, much less recent East Coast strikes. As we woke up this morning, estimates are getting more dismal. Getting into that $4 to $5 billion area per day or per week. And actually now we're looking at maybe up to $80 million per month if the strike is prolonged into longer than a week or two, which is typically the extent of a strike that happens. So estimates are changing as we speak.
And what are the products most affected? I mentioned some of the retailers with apparel, sure. But what else is shipped to and from these ports?
Yeah, the ports on the East Coast and the West Coast typically handle 50% of the U.S. volume in containers. So when you think about that, there are specific industries based on destinations such as agriculture, automotive, apparel, and retail specifically. But with such a broad balance of business coming into the East and the Gulf Coast ports, it really will hit every industry from automotive to industrial to manufacturing. So it's going to be broad sweeping in regards to the industries that it does impact.
I saw an impact estimate, Bank of America, 29% is furniture and household goods, which is among the biggest. General Electrical appliances, also another big one. So how long do you think this will last?
It's a challenge because it's based on the negotiations. There's a big gap between what the ILA is, looking at offering or asking for versus what the management is willing to go up to at this point. So hopefully it will be shorter than longer because the impact to the economy could be devastating, especially going into fourth quarter with the holiday season coming up and all of these retailers really in the process of receiving their fourth quarter product right now. It does put value at risk, really is a significant number because every day that product isn't available on the shelves, that's more revenue that's lost by these retailers. And as we know, they make their year during the fourth quarter. So hopefully it will be short-lived, but it's based on the negotiations and how quickly they come to the table and make an equitable compromise between the two parties.
Well, and also how much pain the Biden administration, the president, is willing to stomach. We're 5 weeks until an election. He's branded himself the most pro-union president in history. I guess that will be tested.
Yeah, so either he needs to crack down on the unions and try and get them to shut the fuck up before the election. That's going to be tough. And imagine, again, no endorsement for Kamala Harris. Imagine if Trump actually ends up helping settle this. That would be fascinating.
Interesting. I was thinking about that this morning with the auto worker support, what a while back. And now, they're as of this morning saying they will not intervene. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm not an expert on White House policy or politics, but if all of the key players are asking for intervention, that should be an interesting response that comes out in the next couple of days.
Thank you very much, John. Appreciate the analysis as we try to figure out how much damage is being done from Moody's. More Squawk on the Street right after a quick break. Dow down about 320.
All right, so 9:30. Let's check this other round of economic data. It hasn't come out yet. It's Dallas Fed Services. That's what we're looking at. It looks like it's grinding. Let's see where we're at here. yeah, Heinz, it would help his branding out a lot, dude. If he ends up doing that, that would be huge. Iran missile threat, ground invasion, Lebanon raids. All right, here we go. United States Dallas Fed, negative 2.6 on the Fed Services Index, forecast negative 4. Services Revenue Index, 10.1, forecast 9.2. Both of these are good, are better than expected. Both of these are good. These are good numbers, guys. Let's look here. So we got the highest read since a year ago for the Fed Services Revenue Index. These are good numbers. So these are, again, the jobs numbers I think were good. The manufacturing prices were good. The manufacturing new orders were good. Construction spending came pretty much in line. Manufacturing employment was a little bit worse than expected. Job openings was better because we want more openings, even though you could make a negative case that we don't have enough qualified people to fill them. We got a bunch of illegal immigrants, but maybe we're not filling the roles that we need to because we don't have a good legal immigration path, because the only legal immigrants are Haitians that are coming into Springfield, Ohio to eat the cats and the dogs and also work in a warehouse or whatever manufacturing thing they do. And I'm kidding, kind of. I mean, Haitians, there's a lot of Haitians that practice voodoo. Those people would eat cats and dogs for sure. And when you're really poor in Haiti, I mean, people eat what they can eat to survive. So could be a real thing, right? But those memes were fucking great, right? MSTX dipping a little more, still above 27. Maybe they are put October believers afraid. Wouldn't that be a great way to start October? Get people scared and then drop it like it, or I should say pop it like it's hot. Jesse APLD, what are your thoughts? I don't know what that is, but we can take a look. Let me see here real quick. Let me see if there's anything else to really focus attention on. Is there any other news that you guys are seeing on X that we should give a fuck about? Somebody said oil looking crazy. I mean, oil's going to go up when they start talking about the world coming to an end. Up 3%. Yeah, it's not really that bad. It's pretty normal. This is not nuts. Let's look over here. Let's look at the watch list, and then I can take a few. I can take a few stock requests. Probably not going to do too many right now, but I will do some. I'll try and do more in the market recap. And again, we have the JD Vance, Tim Walsh debate tonight at 8 p.m. Central. I will be hosting that. Volatility index, nice and up today. Actually, let's take a look at the VIX and see how that's sitting. Bonds are up today, or at least the TMF is up today. Let's do this real quick. VIX. And I don't know that I looked at the inversion in the 2-year. I want to check those out too. So the VIX, again, climbing. This is pretty normal. Again, you have oscillation that occurs, so you're going to get some bounce backs after you have this massive impulse, the quickest impulse in the history of the VIX, and quickest VIX crush in history. You're going to have some rebound where we go back and forth. This is not abnormal in any way. Wow, Tesla 249. Yeah, everything's going to be down today, it looks like. Dylan, oof, Tesla down 5%. Healthy pullback, though. Yeah, I wish I would have taken more. If I would have doubled up, if I would have sold like 10, or what would I sell, 5 contracts the other day? Wish I would have sold 10. Would have had more cash for the sidelines, but it's all good. Down about 80,000, probably 100,000 on Tesla calls today. I just can't add to it, though. I already have too much. I already have so much. I just don't see me adding more to it. But I think tomorrow is going to be the good day, guys. I think tomorrow is where we get the bounce back. Let's see what else. Let's look at the portfolio allocation and see how crushed they are today. Sort by negative. Cypher mining down 7.62. So remember how everybody was excited about owning Cypher and making all that money? Gone. Mara down 7%. Ouch. It actually makes me want to buy some more. Is there anything doing well in the portfolio today that I could sell? I got too greedy. Sold my TLT yesterday, even though it was a piddly amount. Doesn't really matter. U.S. oil. People are going to be selling the shit out of their Chinese stocks like overnight. I can tell you that. to buy the dip in America, that will happen. Unless China announces some greater stimulus to try and prop up their markets a little bit longer. I don't have any uranium. That would have been a good hold. Oil would have been a good hold. But yeah, nothing really. I think my dip buying is done for the day unless something changes. And I don't know if we have any news on Tesla. Is there any negative news, or is this just getting dragged down by a port strike and other bullshit? Let's see. And I might call it here soon, guys. So again, let me look at stocks here. I had your WMT. Yeah, probably. The boring ones will do well today. The boring ones and the commodity plays, it looks like are going to get a bounce back today. Thought somebody had another stock. What was it? Missed it. All right, guys, I might call it here. Let me see if there's any actual news of anything that's scary with Tesla. I doubt it. If you got cash to deploy, I would be doing it now while you can. Dan Ives says Tesla is undervalued and FSD and AI is worth $1 trillion. Tesla stock to 600 soon. Yeah, that's some good positive. We'll put that out there. Again, I got to get people to buy today. I got to get people to buy because this is the day when you buy, guys. If I had more cash, I'd be deploying the fuck out of it. I'm just super patient because I know the things I'm invested in are going to make me a bunch of money. So I'm in no rush. I'm just holding. I'd rather be in than out. And again, look at this, guys. I didn't show this earlier. I'll show more news-related events tonight in the market recap. But if you look over here, you can see that Tesla monthly chart breaking out was significant. This is the path. This is the signal. Jesse, what is the age range of your followers? Do you poll? I don't have to poll. I can look. I can get analytics from X and from YouTube. It actually varies a ton. I don't have a lot that are like in the 18 range, like a few, like a couple percent. And then it goes up, and then it gets really strong into like the 30s. Mid 30 area, so a little bit younger than me. I'm 47, and then it tapers off going into the 50s, 60s. People don't watch me because they're more focused on just holding their bonds or whatever boring ass thing they have because they're near the end of their investment career. Once you get up into the late 50s and 60s, a lot of people aren't focusing anymore. So that's kind of where it is. What was the next question? Could ISM prices actually suggest strong deflation? Just got FSD on my Cybertruck. Oh, you lucky. Oh, Lewis, I'm so jealous right now. Could ISM actually reflect strong deflation? Let's go back here. So you can't say deflation, but could it? It is deflation, right? The ISM manufacturing prices is probably most of that is a contribution coming out of China, where the stuff that they're sending to us is going to be cheaper. Like parts for things that we maybe put together in the United States. That there's a lot of deflation being exported out of China. There's deflation being exported out of parts of Europe that are impacted by China, and then there's just other economies around the world where they're sucking right now. But yeah, ISM is good. The prices, ISM manufacturing prices coming in at 48.3 versus 53. Consensus, 53.3 consensus and 54.6 forecast is good. It actually ends up helping our economy because we're paying less for the trivial shit and the parts that we buy from China. Alejandro, Tesla down 4.4%. Sounds like it's doing better. It was down 5 a second ago. 44 here looking for group. 44 what? 44 what? All right, so... yeah, again, I think today is probably going to close higher than it is right now. That's my take. You guys can follow up in the market. Oh, I do want to see something, though. How are shitcoins doing today? Surprisingly well. Isn't that fucking insane? Tesla's down more than most of these shitcoins. That is very, very exciting, guys. This is a risk-on market. 44 here. Oh, age. Gotcha. Yeah. So I think like 35 to 40 is probably my largest demographic, right in that range, like lower 30s to 40s, and then there's probably a decent amount in their 20s too. And again, there's people that getting up to their 50s, and then it kind of falls off the cliff. So if you're younger than 20 or you're older than 50, you're not paying as much. Yeah, dude, I totally agree, Cody. That's why I wanted to look at it real quick. Altcoins holding up is a massive signal about risk on right now, guys. The fact that altcoins are barely down today and people are still just like, and again, we've got that 16 billion coming from FTX. So we've got altcoins for the week, for the day, are down about as much as Tesla is. That's fucking insane. They should just be bleeding out. SUI is still up. FTT is up. Hex is up. And again, if we look at the week and the month, guys, this is not a market that's collapsing at all. At all. It's very, very strong. So today's a buy the dip day. We'll see what happens this afternoon and if I'm right about markets being higher. Just to be clear, let's kind of figure out where they are right now. Let's look at the S&P. S&P down 1% on the day. This is a beautiful back test, actually. I'm glad I'm jumping into here. Look at the S&P, guys. It's perfectly, for the first time, back tested the .618. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is exactly, and look, it's just perfectly following this trend. We had a breakdown, touched the .618. I could see us maybe even grinding over here, then breaking up again and establishing a new all-time high on the S&P. So this is great looking, down 1% on the day, getting better by the minute. NASDAQ is down near its lows of the day. I actually think NASDAQ could drop even more, but we'll see if it finds support here. This is peak volumes on the shorter time frame, so it could, based on peak volumes, it could bounce right here. Maybe that's the path. It would make sense that the S&P is already bouncing, that this would too. The Russell getting smoked a little more than the NASDAQ today, and the S&P doing the best out of all of them. I would argue that companies like NVIDIA deserve to have some of the life sucked out of them, and that small caps will bounce too. But let's look over here. Let's see what Apple. Woo, brutality in Apple. You can see this technology sector, guys. NVIDIA was up like 0.75% earlier today, and now it's down almost 3%. I don't understand why people would be invested in NVIDIA when they've made so much money off of it, and it's a $3 trillion company. It doesn't make sense. And Apple, again, there's bad signs for Apple. I think we're going to see more and more people taking profits from their big winners and pulling out of the large caps to redistribute that money elsewhere. Tesla's only down, 4.16? Is that real? So it's already bouncing. So your opportunity to buy today's dip, I think, is coming and going. It's down 3.81%. You guys are missing your opportunity if you haven't done it. I'm going to call it here, guys. Today is definitely a buying the dip kind of fucking day. If you aren't buying the dip today, you're making a mistake. That's my take. So we're going to go out with buying a dip. I will see you guys in the market recap, and I'll tell you, and I told you so, when the market ends up closing higher than it is right now. Love you guys. See you a little bit later. Peace out.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.
Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Oh. Buy that fucking dip. Dump it on the top and spit. Buy that shit. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. When it drops, better cop. Let it fucking rip. People love the pump. Yeah. Got them lining up. Wow. See us winning, FOMO in and YOLO by the top. Dream of Lamborghini. Girlfriend in bikini. Front covered Forbes magazines where you'll see me. Oh, what? How? Price went down. Who will save us now? Felt like a hero. Now the fear is here and it's clear as steering to zero. Yeah. Hands weak, bags heavy, and I'm ready to forget about already all the hopes and the dreams. So puke your position like mom spaghetti. I'm hungry and got long cash on and ready to just buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Oh. Buy that fucking dip. Dump it on the top and spit. Buy that shit. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. When it drops, better cop. Let it fucking rip. When there's people crying, that's when I'll be buying. Yeah. When they tell you their investment conviction is dying. Oh no. But the market's dead. Yeah. That's what TV man said. It's time to sell it, walk away and sit in cash instead. Pump, what? Price go up. Guess that's just your luck. Sold at the bottom of ladder, you gotta learn how to hold on to whatever money you're gonna earn and not get shaken out when they run the stops. Although it tends to pretend through the dips and the bends, you know the trend is your friend all the way to the end. So I buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Oh. Buy that fucking dip. Dump it on the top and spit. Buy that shit. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. When it drops, better cop. Let it fucking rip. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Oh. Buy that fucking dip. Dump it on the top and spit. Buy that shit. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. When it drops, better cop. Let it fucking rip.